Wow, I was muted. Not gonna lie, that edit is hella pretty. Here, let me see if I can put it in the. Oh, no, I'll keep that in the background on mute. What is up? Magus? No, it's not Magus. Magus sounds terrible. Magus? Hello. What's up, Lo Bacunera? What's up, man? Welcome in. Willkommen. Come on in. Right here. Oh yeah, let me the stream is started. Magus 5311. Do I if I know you in real life, let me know give me your first name. I remember that screen name. I don't know. Hitman's wife, bodyguard, Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson, Selma Hayek. I don't know what this. Let me skip this. Good evening, y'all. What is up? I'll leave this edit in the background because this edit is super good. Can you guys hear me okay? Everything looking good, sounding good? Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Spencer, what's up, Spence? All good. All right, one sec. I gotta use my photographic memory here. And they just 5311 Spencer. Got it. What's up? Let me stuff here. Yeah, dude, these edits are so pretty. Kudos. Yeah. Yeah, kudos to Ben and Coyd on the Overwatch League editing team on creating this thing. Oh my god, I forgot about that Lucio shot. On the wall, that was crazy. Oh my god, it's so good. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but our Overwatch League editing team is, they're pretty good at what they do, you know? I must say, kudos to them. Yeah, guys. Well, oh my god. Damn, you keep forgetting. Yeah, look at this stuff. This is absolutely insane. This is amazing. Got some memes. You got a little karaoke in here. You know, this is this is during COVID times, but in Overwatch you can have so much fun. It's absolutely amazing. Look how much fun they're having. They're dancing, karaoke, doing all the things we couldn't do. I love it. But okay. Welcome everyone to my stream today. Today's a special day. Today's one of my favorite things to do in anything in life. I love rankings. I love talking about rankings. Let me make the screen a little bigger here. Wait, let me pop this here. Wish all the leagues had that much fun. Don't you wish all the leagues had that much fun? We have some fun at the Overwatch League. We really do. And it's just beginning. Today's a special day. Today's one of my favorite days. I do this all the time anyway. I'm a big NFL fan. Kind of do this with the NBA every once in a while, but I love talking about what makes teams good, why teams are good, how teams stay good. Some teams are good once, and then they are not good after a little while. No one likes that. And today's a special day because today we are doing a special episode of Overwatch League 2021 Power Ranking. Season starts in 3 days, and you know, who knows what's gonna happen? We're what? We're 4 seasons in. We're about to hit our 4th season. 4th season into the Overwatch League. Lots happened in 4 years. Who would have thought we would have hit 4 seasons? You know, for that matter. And now we're about to roll in to an incredible season. I honestly think I haven't even seen. You know, if anyone's here who isn't aware, I'm a Blizzard employee. But even I haven't seen a lot of the stuff that they're cooking for the broadcast this season, and I'm so excited. I think it's going to be gameplay wise. Our players have only gotten better over time. I think we got some fresh blood in the league. We got veteran players who, you know, really showing their mettle and showing their dedication to Overwatch. And I think they're only going to be better. And this is my favorite, you know, just my overall thoughts about this season to start off with. I love that we got momentum in the league, at least within the player base. You know, like generally speaking, Overwatch League is still pretty new. We're still pretty new. We're still trying to get the bearings across the players and everything like that. But I really do think that we've hit a smooth stride where you have veteran players who can teach younger players. I'm a big proponent of you need people with experience to really show the new guys how things are done. I think that goes a long way across the board for everything, from everyone from the team's PR firms, teams PR presence, the players teaching younger players how to operate, how to be a pro. Being a pro is a tough thing. Even for something like video games, being a pro in anything is really hard. And I think that, especially, you know, when you look back on season 1 and see how many players were excited to join the league, I think a lot of them didn't really understand what it was like to be a pro in something. It's not the same thing as being a home. It's not good enough to be good at a game. There's so many things that the players had to experience for the first time. You had to learn what it's like to really work with a team. Not everyone's like, like you had to learn what it's like in team dynamics. Not everyone's going to be the MVP. Some people are your best players. Some people are your support players, not supports, but your supportive players. Your role players. There's so much interpersonal things that happen whenever you do a sport at the highest level, which is what Overwatch League is. Sorry for this Radeon ad here, 6800. I wish this was a paid stream. But we've hit a really great stride in Overwatch League, which is why this is probably one of the seasons I'm most excited for, because we have player coaches. Jake who was a caster last year with ZP. He missed being competitive, so now he's back. Jake is coaching, or he's playing, but he's a player coach for the Houston Outlaws. I mean, that just says a lot about how you feel about the league in general. Where he was good. He had a cushy job. Jake, Jake Rat. He had a cushy job. All he had to do was chill and talk about Overwatch League, watch it, and he was like, you know what? That's not good enough for me. I want to keep playing. I want to, I appreciate that for Jake. I know Jake has his haters. He's kind of a meme around the league, but Jake really has a passion for competition. And having a player like that, having the players who, we got Carpe, we got some of these players you can see in the highlight reel above here. This is some contender stuff, but we have so many people who are just really excited to just keep competing. Overwatch 2, momentum picking up for Overwatch 2. BlizzCon was a few months ago, and everyone's gotten really hyped for that. And, things for Overwatch are looking up. So I am extremely excited for this season. I think there's only going to be amazing things coming up, and it's going to be a really good competitive time. And it starts in 3 days, and I could seriously not be more excited. I'm a big sports fan, and I love that sports is seasonal. I really do. NFL finished like 2 months ago, and I'm always sad with the NFL, but whenever something's gone, there's always something that fits the hole in my soul of competition, and it's gonna be amazing. Mad props to Jake. Seriously, mad props to Jake. I love his content. I hope it keeps going. I'm gonna talk about this later on, but I do really having players who are coaches, I think, is one of these most underrated and valuable things across any team. I really believe that, and for the league too in general. I think it means a lot. I'm a big person on giving back. I used to be in drumline. I used to play a lot, but I loved teaching people, and that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite things in sports. You have generations of people who just even within Overwatch, we have people who've been playing since 2015, the beta, and and it's these players just keep coming back and giving back to the league and to the gaming community as a whole, and it's freaking amazing. I really do love it. 4 viewers, what's up, guys? Welcome in. Also, this play was crazy. Jinmu's incredible. I'm not hot on the hunters, but you know what? That's okay. All right. Bear with me a little bit as I kind of go in between. I don't have I was going to make a PowerPoint, but work was kind of crazy, so I didn't have time to make a PowerPoint to be able to cleanly go through everything. But oh my god, I'm sorry. This game cap. Ben or Coyd, if you're watching this, or I might clip this for you later, but goddamn. This game cap, this whole piece, I've been using as B-roll. A+. And just as we go along with this thing, if anybody has any suggestions, or if something's too loud, or any technical things, I'm trying to manage it while I do this, but I wish I had a broadcast director controlling it for me, but we're gonna go with it as we go. Okay, so if you can't see, I have a bajillion tabs up here that I will be using. Let's do Overwatch League. I actually like having some B-roll in the back, so you guys don't have to look at my stupid face the entire time. What's up, Krusty? If you can't tell, I was using this. I was going through these matches earlier, or in a previous time. That's why I had a timestamp saved. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to start out with today is okay. There's a B-roll back here. All right, so one of the big things, looking forward to the Overwatch League 2021 season, I want to think about, for me personally, I've been thinking a lot about what makes a good Overwatch League team. We'll get to the power rankings in a little bit of time, but I think what's important for all you people who are watching the league this year I think more so than thinking about which teams are good. Try to watch your favorite teams and think about what makes them good. Or if you're a fan of a bad team, one, I'm sorry. Two, it's always my favorite thing when watching sports is if you know what a team should be doing, it makes the watching experience that much better. And I think especially with esports, games are so complicated. So many games are so different from one another. It can be difficult to really know what to look for. And any of my coworkers who've worked with me or talked Overwatch with me, I have my strong feelings about what makes a really good team. And it's a mixture of a few things. First thing I want to talk about with what makes a good Overwatch League team, or just a good Overwatch team in general, is something I think that's very underrated. I think coaching, when I say this, I'm not saying you can't be a good team without good coaching, but at the top level, I think Overwatch League Overwatch coaching in terms of how your team operates, I think is so underrated. We don't talk enough about coaching. We don't talk enough about how team organizations organize their coaching staff. I think, especially 4 years into the league, I think Overwatch coaching has become some of the best it's ever been. We have players. I think having a player who's a coach, it gives you so much value, so much more value than previously thought. Overwatch League Season 1, we had people who came in and said they were coaches. And there's some good coaches, obviously, and some, I'll say it, absolutely terrible coaches who can't do anything. And so people have rumors. I'm not gonna, I'll bring it up when it's relevant, but some people have said that Overwatch League, like some coaches even today on top teams, they don't really coach. And if it works for them, that's one thing. But yeah, every school coach. Sorry, dude, what's that guy's name? Oh man, what was that guy from Owl Season 1 who everyone just shat on for taking the dream team of the Fuel? You got Mickey, you got XQC, you got Siegel, you had some really solid players. You had, they had Rascal at one point. Man, what was that guy's name? It's so bad. I've worked in the league for 4 years. I can't remember that guy's name. Overwatch League Season 1 coach. I'll look it up, but I don't want to hate on people too much here. Not Jane. Jane was Owl Season 2. Jane was cool. I think he was a good streamer. I think he wasn't ready for coaching necessarily. Kai. Jack, thank you for the suggestion there. Kai, that was the guy. We did a few features on him, and seemed like a nice guy, and the players very obviously liked him. He was a former player on Team Envy, and I just think coaching wasn't ready. But yes, coaching is a big thing, and I like any sports. So much of the stuff is about the players. I think, especially at the highest level, like the top tier of players, at a certain point, there's just some things as a player you can't notice on your own. Be it ego, it could be ego, it could be just lack of awareness, your self-interest. It really Kai went bye. It really stops your development as a player. And I think that coaching in any team, it's like certain, especially in a game like Overwatch. In a game like basketball, for example, coaching is important, but I do think there is the power of the individual player in a game like basketball, or I would say a game like Valorant. Your individual player performance. There's some things that, like the way the game is designed, the way the game is played, you don't have to have as great as teamwork, because every hero in a game like Valorant or Counter-Strike is super capable of making the play. But in Overwatch, that's not how the game works. The game is so team dependent. If I'm Lucio and I'm 1v6ing, I can't 1v6 as Lucio. It's literally impossible. Like, unfortunately, as much as we like it, and some people want the direction of Overwatch to go that way, I think the beauty of Overwatch is the game design is perfectly balanced around teams. You need people. I think it's, Blizzard games, everyone I've talked to, I wasn't even a big Blizzard person before I started playing Overwatch. I didn't play WoW. I kind of dabbled Diablo, but I never really felt attached to it. As soon as I played Overwatch, I saw the beauty and the magic of what Blizzard created with this game. This game, you need people. You can't do it without them. And and like a lot of people say, I equate Overwatch League to the NFL. I really do. Yeah. If you didn't know that, Spence, I obviously knew who Blizzard was, but I had no attachment to Blizzard whatsoever. And look at me 4 years later, and now I am an employee, and we're going to season 4. Yeah, this team is so team dependent. In coaching, you have to maximize what people are good at. Yeah, even if you're the best player, it's like they say. You ever see the movie Drumline? You got Nick Cannon. You got Nick Cannon playing the snare drum. He's really good. He's the best. You're the best, Devin. But you know what? You only hear one band. You got one band. That's all you hear. And that's what we have with Overwatch, with the game of Overwatch. It doesn't matter how good your ball is. Your Roadhog could be so good, but you're as good as your weakest link, and you're as good as your coaches can develop you. And it's so important, so important. And I think that's one of the big things of what I think makes a good Overwatch league. And let me see if I can. Okay, so I'm gonna write it down here. Just for these are my shitty lower thirds. What makes a good team? Good coaching. Dude, this is my favorite jank thing I've ever done. I actually love it. I would be a great coach? I would love to be a coach. I really would. I'm not even gonna lie. Good coaching. So. Okay. Oh my god, I love my jank lower thirds. I really do. Okay, so it makes good coaching. So yeah, so one of the big things I think about when you think about Overwatch League, one thing I want to touch on with this is every team, what we've seen every season of the Overwatch League, every season we've seen, metas change. And I think that's where coaching really matters. In the game-to-game functions, I personally think that Overwatch League needs more timeouts. I think they need more capability for coaching decisions to be made mid-game. Because I think in the middle of the game, so many things change as teams adjust. I think we need timeouts in Overwatch League. I want timeouts in Overwatch League. I want to be able to. There should be rules. There should be only between rounds. Maybe like if an enemy team caps Volskaya in like 5 minutes and 14 seconds. I think you should be able to call a tactical pause, 2-minute timeout. You should have fucking two 2-minute timeouts and 2 30-second timeouts across the entirety of a match. And then if it's a multi-map match like first to 4, like Grand Finals is, you readjust the numbers. But I think coaching needs more influence in the game right now. I really do. But the biggest thing that I was saying was meta changes. The best teams learn how to adapt metas. And this is where coaching and your general manager, this is where, player acquisitions, your understanding of the meta, that's where it really matters. And I think the best teams are San Francisco Shocks. I think Florida Mayhem's very good at this. I think Atlanta is surprisingly good at this, despite kind of their coaching corral here. Teams that have solid metas across the board, and that can be with really good coaching and understanding. That could be building your roster. Yeah, you build a roster. Trusty MVP, Jack's fucking right. He really is. Shock is a good example of they build a roster towards being able to be flexible. Because one, the Overwatch League teams, they don't know what meta is going to be played. They don't know how the team's going to be balanced. They have their suggestions, but they don't know. So you have to, part of the coaching, part of the responsibility of your management team is understanding that possibility and having a roster that's flexible. That's why you see teams with like a bajillion DPS players. Because in my opinion, the best teams are teams that have learned that specialization is key. I think that's one of my big themes for this season that I'm very curious about. Specialization is key. There's no point in, no matter how good your team synergy is, this was a Houston Outlaws problem. No matter how good your team is, or how good you get along, or even your history, people think Dallas Fuel is going to be good just because they played well together for a long time. I don't think that matters as much. I think you need to have enough players. You need to be able to give players the opportunity to be the best at the hero that they're good at. Shock, look at this roster right here on this B-roll back here. Super doesn't play for like a stage. He doesn't play. Arisa's meta doesn't come in, but when he comes in, he performs the fuck out of it. And very clearly, San Francisco won the championship 2 years in a row because they Super didn't play 2019 Grand Finals. He didn't play like a second. No, because the meta wasn't his. But good teams, good management understand that as the meta change, your team stays flexible. Even if your star player, this might just be me, but if your star player if Symmetra's meta and your star player isn't good at Symmetra, you got to yank that dude out. Because at the end of the day, once you find out what's the good meta, you got to stick with it. You got to go for it, and you got to be the best at it, honestly. So teams like Paris, last year, not this year. Last year, Paris really good at the Genji meta because they obviously had Sparkle. But as soon as a Genji meta came out, they kind of got stagnant. They really did, and that's unfortunate. So meta teams with big rosters, flexible rosters, and a scouting team that can understand the meta, and not only understand the meta, but fit their players where they're best at. You know, if your team's not good at dive, if you have to play dive, maybe another team figures out how to play a different style of dive. If all you do is copy and paste from the other teams, you're kind of playing a crapshoot of, are you going to be good at this or not? And over time, you know, like that will ruin your team morale. You know, if you're crossing your fingers that you hope the grand finals meta is good for you, that will destroy your team's mental, I think. You know, that's why Seoul Dynasty to me has been very impressive, because, you know, if you look at the tables, you should see this. Let's see. I have these tabs ready. If you look at Seoul Dynasty made it to the grand finals here. Seoul Dynasty made it to the grand finals. They ran the table in the playoffs from the wild card all the way up. They were at 500 last year. They were straight up 500, and they ran the table. Am I the Jets or the Patriots? Yeah, are you the Jets or the Patriots? Jets have never been good. Patriots are always good. Once the New England Patriots get a quarterback, Belichick's going to take them to the promised land. We'll be good. Seoul, someone watching here. I am high on Seoul. I think they'll be. We'll get to my power ranking soon. My second big thing for what makes it a good Overwatch team. Let me add this thing. Great main tank line. I think main tank. So this would have been one of my favorite conversation points. What is the most important position? Hey, Rudy. Avernal X. What's up, Rudy? Welcome to the chat. It's good to see you. I missed you at Bappy Hour last week. I'm sorry. Yo, everyone go check out Avernal X. If you haven't followed Avernal, check her streams out. She does music, she does gaming, she does Overwatch, she does it all. She's great. Yeah, hit the follow on Avernal. I got you. All right, so back to my second point. So good coaching, especially across the metas. Hit the follow button. You'll see nice. I don't know if I got the notification. I hope I did. But anyway, yeah, meta changes. You know, if there's 4 stages, about every stage we've changed metas. I'm pretty sure that's how it was last year. We started with Rush. Once online happened, Double Shield, and then Double Shield Genji, and then we went to like Winston Rush, Winston Saba. I can't speak. Winston Sombra Rush, Jesus. And then we went double sniper with Hog Sigma once Giga Hot came through. So that's that. I just named 4 things, and your team has to be good at all 4 of them to maintain your top positions. That's what it means. And to follow that point, my second really big point, what's important to me, on what makes a great Overwatch League team is who's your main tank, or not even who's your main tank. How good are your main tanks, and are they consistent? Because to me, I think some of the teams we're about to talk about in the power rankings, I think they've been built very well, but honestly, their main tanks have been their biggest question mark. I think the most important positions on an Overwatch League team at the highest level, I think it's in terms of difficulty, I do think DPS is very hard, but I think in terms of what keeps your team in like a capable of competing on a consistent basis, I think it's your main support and your main tank. I think those 2 positions are probably, to me, the 2 most important ones. DPS players come a dime a dozen. Even like an incredible DPS player obviously can carry, but if you have a really solid main tank player, or a duo of main tank players that are really, really good at their positions, main tank sets the pace. And every time the meta changes, a lot of heroes stay the same. You can do Rush, Tracer's really flexible. Snipers, being good at Ashe. Yeah, look at Gladiator the Fisher. Don't get me started on Glads with Fisher. Glads haven't had a good tank since Fisher, and the results have spoken true of. And they've had the same support line like every time. Fisher's an incredible talent. Sucks he couldn't stick with the team. Vancouver could have been really good. I'm not salty. I love Fisher. He might be a little toxic, but he was really good, and I loved watching the dude. But yeah, your great tank lines is to me what defines it, and specifically main tank. I think if you have a bad main tank, the stats tab is kind of tricky to follow, but I would bet money that if your team has a bottom, there's 20 teams in the league. If your team doesn't have a top 10 main tank, I would very highly doubt you are better than top Yeah, better than number 10. Or that's a lie, better than number 8. Some teams can carry, but Gladiators with Roar, for example. Roar, everyone talked good about Roar. Everyone talked good about Roar. Where's that dude in the league? I don't think he's in the league this year. I really don't. He was on Washington, and everyone thought Washington was going to make a turnaround. Guess what? That dude was still bad on Washington. And you hate to see it, but he was bad. And, and it's funny because every coach that picks him up, they say he's smart, they say he's capable, they say he, wants to work well with the team. But then other reports came out. Some news reports said, hey, look at Roar. He doesn't play ranked in his off hours. And you're like, what? That's like a football player not going to the weight room and in his off time. It's like, bro, you got to put in the work. You got to keep the muscles going. I don't know what this dude's talking about. But yeah, Gladiators. They had Roar. They got to, their good DPS line and their support duo, Shaz and Big Goose, took them to the semifinals of playoffs, got creamed. Sorry, get out of here. And, and their main tank sucks. Because main tank is, with a game like Overwatch, when you're down a man, especially once ults are cycled, especially on a map like on like 2CP where team fights are very paramount and one lost team fight can snowball real fast. Having a bad main tank who's like the easiest thing to shoot and generally speaking the most obvious target to blow up once cooldowns are out, if he sucks, you're just going to be always down 6v5, and I think that's very important. There's a stat that I want to that I can pull up here that I've loved. Team first death rates. It's a really interesting stat that God, I hope this loads fast. Man, I gotta say the Overwatch League stats tab does not load very quickly. But I do want to. There's a stat on the stats tab where it says, "What's your percentage of winning after the first death?" Man, this is not good. See that tab's working. Man, I think they introduced the Owl Power Rankings tab today. Oh, there it is. Team first death rates. I would if I didn't want to keep this moving, I would check out if I could look up the stat of how many times the main tank dies first and see what's their win percentage after the main tank dies. That would be an incredible thing to see. Because honestly, main tanks, generally speaking, either that or a squishy like a support gets sniped first. That's one of the big things. But main tank sets your pace. Main tank, is the enabler, and it opens the way, it controls space. And if you have a great main tank, I think you're set up for success. A lot of big acquisitions. Something that I found interesting in the recent off-season moves for Overwatch League. A lot of the big players, the big teams, they're picking up main tanks from contenders, and which is interesting. Generally speaking, you would think that you would go with known quantities on main tank. But that being said, it's very interesting that Mag. On Washington Justice, he was one of the most sought after main tanks. Muse on Gladiators. Muse was another kid that was really sought out, and all these teams are willing to take chances on these main tank players that haven't played in Overwatch League. But I do think that means that the value of main tanks is important, because what that tells me is other teams are looking around at other teams' main tanks and say it's not worth trading for them. We've seen them in the Overwatch League. We know what they can do, and they still suck. That, if you're ever looking at your favorite teams or looking at what players have value, you want to find out, do other teams want them? If you think like fans of Muma, I'm sorry, if you think Muma's good, look at the trade talks and see if anyone's even remotely interested in picking up that dude. Nobody is. Fisher, the way OGE and Fisher were really good was other teams were willing to take a chance and fight for them and keep them on their roster. OGE didn't come into Overwatch League Season 1 until halfway through until the beginning of Stage 3. Went to Dallas, and then everyone kind of saw Dallas implode, like Dallas Fuel does. Sorry, Dallas Fuel fans. You watch them implode, and then straight up, you see him get picked up by Florida, like instantaneously after the season's over. People, good players, and I'll say this for professional sports. I'll say this for jobs. If no one else is looking for you, or I don't want to be mean, the best talents, people will look for them. People will find them for work. People want to have their value added to their team. So the fact that a lot of Overwatch League main tanks that are current in the league, I mean, shit, we had 20 at any one time. You had 20 main tanks. If we have 6 new main tanks, that means 6 players. People have seen at least one season of their efforts and deemed them not good enough to hang. Not good enough to win, at least, which says a lot. So main tanks is a big thing for me. Okay, man, my voice, I need to drink some water. Woo. But yeah, 6 viewers. Yo, thank you everyone for staying in. This is great. This is fun. I can do this all day. This is my radio show. You know, man, I wish I had a morning show so I could do like, you know, your morning commute. Well, I guess you don't have a morning commute anymore, but while you're making your coffee, I'll do a Overwatch League radio show. Well, we have this tab up. I just want to packing listening to. Very nice. While we're here, I just want to look at this team first death rates tab. So at this chart here, you're going to see on the x-axis, you're going to see the first death rate. How often do they have the first death in a team fight? And then on your y-axis, you see how often do they win after they lose their first player. One thing I do want to say, first off, if I did a flow chart of what Overwatch looked like, you have your pre-phase, your setup phase, you have your mid-fight phase, and then you have your planning stage. It's like a big circle. It's a wide circle of team set up, get ready to go, kind of talk about what they're going to do. They have the mid-fight phase where the teams clash and they run into each other, and the scrum happens. And then the third stage is cleanup and or repositioning. And then it all just starts from there. And it could be the payload changes, or after the mid-fight's won, one team wins, one team loses. The other team resets and either changes heroes or repositions. The winning team sets up their defense on a certain side. It's just a big circle. So when you look at charts like these, you want to understand how that fits within the stats. So generally speaking, if you don't have the first death a lot, but you still win your first, if you have the first pick a lot, and your team fight percentage is also very low, that means your team is not very good in the mid fight of understanding, and to a certain extent the pre-planning phase, understanding how to win after that happens. Like that's something that a lot of teams, and this goes for a lot of people who just play Overwatch in general. A lot of people plan for the best case scenario. They say, as long as I get this, as long as I get a Zarya bubble, as long as this guy misses his shot, as long as I don't get slept, as long as I don't get Brigitte bashed, as long as everything goes my way, then I know what the scenario is going to be. And in your ranked games, and in Overwatch League for that matter, good coaching and good understanding of how Overwatch works as a game, you have to understand that when shit goes wrong, and it will go wrong, someone gets booped, you miss, especially at the Overwatch League level, it could be something as simple as someone misses their sleep dart on even a hard target. As soon as that happens, there's a cascade of flowcharts where your team has to know, well, fuck, if we don't have this, then how do we bail them out of this? Goats was a perfect example of that. I loved watching Goats because you would see, if you saw one person fuck up, watching Vancouver Titans was fucking incredible. It really was incredible. I think if Goats stayed the way it was, I think Vancouver Titans probably would have won, honestly. Their team synergy was absolutely monstrous. Anytime someone did something wrong, you could just see the rest of the team just kind of like, if you played it at like 0.25 speed and you watch them work together. God, one time, Slime Vancouver got slept on Anubis on a staircase, and I've never seen a team turn around and just within half a second understand we have to blow these things. They blew like 4 cooldowns on Slime to keep him alive, and then after that all went down, they still knew how to win the fight, and they ended up taking 0.1 on Anubis. Absolutely incredible. So when you look at this graph right here, you'll see. Here, let me minimize. You'll see here that the best teams, your Shanghai's, your Philadelphia's, your San Francisco Shocks, they don't lose their first player a lot, but when they do, especially Shock, look at Shock, 45% of the time, like 45% of the time they first death rate, 45%, they're the people that get that lose a person first, but they still have a better than 1 in 4 chance of winning the fight. Which, if you break down an Overwatch fight, if you lose the first guy but you win 1 out of every 4 fights, that's probably 2 ultimates used per team fight. Which means that your team is very good at managing. First death isn't always an errant thing. Sometimes it's like whoever gets killed first after an ultimate use. There's so many variables with this, but being able to succeed after you lose a person, normally that means that your team understands who the high value targets are. If I lose a guy, I need to know who the other team needs to lose for us to even this out. So it's like, if I lose my main tank, but we also know that the enemy Lucio has beat, and if they keep that Lucio, we're fucked. Your team has to be aware of that. Your team shot caller has to know, all right, that's a priority target. If they lose their key player in the next fight, then we have a chance of winning. And then that, again, that's a big coaching thing. That's what team film analysis does. There's so many intricacies to it that I find it fucking amazing. All right, my voice is starting to hurt. So, and I do definitely want to play some ranked games. So, let's have some fun. We're going to get into my thoughts on the OWL rankings here. I'll pull up some of these charts later. But, Jesus, everything's resetting. Okay, so, welcome everyone to my actual Overwatch League Power Rankings chart. As you can see on the left column here, on my left column, actually, let me... Okay. A little bit. All right, so this is my Overwatch League chart. This is how I want to view the teams. I want to view the teams, you know, I'm not a big believer in ranking everyone 1 through 10, or 1 through 20. I think that's, you know, this power ranking segment isn't necessarily about how I feel about the team at the moment. This is how I feel about, based on their management, based on their team roster, their leadership on their team, veteran players and all that. This is how I think all these teams are going to end up over time, throughout the season. So, also, I love that the Florida Mayhem still has their old logo here. Okay, so first off the bat, we're going to get this out of the way. I don't want to talk about it. I'll just get mad. On the tier, you're going to see on the left side here, we have all of our tiers. Not numbers, but we're going to have what their projections will be. Bottom tier, guess who it is? It's LA Valiant. Surprise, motherfuckers. It is literally... Woo! I don't know how I can describe how big of a dumpster fire I've ever seen a team do. You know, and I know people who have worked on the Valiant PR teams, just like been around them. You know, Custa, dude, I'm sorry that the team you're most known for just kind of shat the bed with everything. Why the Valiant suck? Okay, if anyone's not aware about what happened to Valiant, unfortunately their team management, remember the details is hard, but basically they sold their management rights to a Chinese ownership group. And what happened was, instead of keeping the roster, they absolutely just trashed their entire roster. What's up, Peter? They absolutely trashed their entire roster. They had all these good players. They had Agility's back. They had a great roster last year. They had Lastro. They had Rain. Valiant was always a very surprising team. Their team, they had Packing 10. Packing 10, I think, is a great coach, but now he's coaching Valorant for the Immortals team. The Immortals team is doing fucking great. Valiant was a sleeper team that if they got some key players, I really thought they could make a big run this season. But no. Fortunately, LA Valiant, they showed their ownership group. And I guess the new ownership group, because they're Chinese owned, they wanted their own Chinese players. So they dumped their entire current roster. Am I basing these rankings? Yeah, yes. These entire rankings are based on what I think is going to happen this season, and my feelings about who I feel like is the favorites going into. And obviously, these rankings are going to change as teams develop, as we find new players. We might find out that some players we thought were good are terrible. We're gonna find out that some players we thought were bad are really good. And same thing with teams. We're gonna find some teams that I think there's a few teams that I think will be very surprising. That I'm excited to see. I'm very excited to see. But yeah, let's just get this out of the way. LA Valiant, absolute dog shit trashed here. I'm going to laugh. You know, what is it today? Today is April 13th, 2021. I'm going to eat my goddamn words if we find out Valiant's good, if their Chinese players are good. Personally, I don't watch Chinese contenders that much. Maybe some of their players are pretty good. They got Crystal from the Hangzhou Spark from Season 2. That kid was pretty toxic. That kid was caught for, you know, he said he was sick and so he couldn't show up to practice, but he was actually at the mall shopping with his family. Hey, I love the family time. I really do. I love the family time. But yeah, you gotta go to work. You gotta go to work. I don't care how much money Hangzhou Spark is paying you. You gotta go to work for this sort of thing. So LA Valiant, we're not going to consider them a real team. We got to see what happens. If they're good for them. But in terms of management, in terms of public eye, Valiant just kind of, you know, toss it out. Rudy in the chat, she said these players are children, very young. No. You can make money playing games. Kids make money playing video games. What? God, was it Making Kelly show or something like that? It's killing me, dude. It's actually killing me. Jesus, I think tens on the Cloud9 Valorant team. I think he's making, what was it, 12,000 a month, 15,000 a month, something like that. Yeah. So if anybody didn't know, you can make some real good money playing some video games there. You know, this might be a rant for another video, Rudy. I do agree they are in professional situations, how young they are, but I would counterpoint saying, NBA players, like Luka Doncic, he is the next star for the National Basketball Association. Luka Doncic is, I think he's 20. He came in the league 2 years ago at the age of 18. He like Mono just turned 25. These they're young, but they're men and women for the women that play. I think at 18, if a person can, Zion Williamson is 19, plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. He's the next LeBron. Everyone knows him as the next LeBron. He's had shoe deals, and he's had shoe deals. He's he's an incredible player. I think there's a line. I think there's a line that and it's like, I'm not saying being thrust into a spotlight isn't difficult. It's a shock for a lot of people, especially for gamers. NBA players or professional sports players. No, I feel you, Rudy. I'm just saying my thoughts here. My feelings with this, I think the thing about other traditional sports is there's people who have been through it and understand it, and you have people to learn from. You have contacts. You have mentors that you can talk to. That's one of the big things that some teams do. They hire veteran players to teach the young kids how to really operate and exist and be consistent. It's really hard. Yeah, it's like Jesus, the Washington football team. They hired a guy who's 39. He's on his 9th team in 17 seasons, and they're paying him $10 million a year. And they're like, why would you hire a guy who's on the last legs of his career? But they're going to bring in a rookie, and they're going to let this dude teach him how to play. The best player in, yeah. Oh yeah, and trust me, it's like, everyone's like, shit, I'm 29 and I'm still developing as a person. But with these players, as esports becomes a bigger thing, I think there does need to be a push, not just from the public. I can't vouch for how people feel about when they're famous, when they have money, when they're thrust into a role where we expect them to be role models. I think that's a tough thing to ask for anybody. If that's not what you're signing up for. A lot of these kids just want to play games. I'll never forget. I met a Valiant player season 1 doing a green screen shoot. I asked him what he thought about being in the league, and he said, "I just want to play video games," and that really hit me a lot. And so that being said, it's hard for these players to manage. But hey, I think the coaches, I think the teams need to do a good job of helping them manage their lives. I think they need. I think players nowadays, especially like Carpe, can bring in a rookie like Alarm and be like, "Yo, this is how we do." Well, thanks, Lo. But yeah, no, like, trust me, especially once the season goes along. Part of this power ranking things is something I'm impressed with the good teams that have consistently been good is maturity. Buccaneer is low. But yeah, maturity. Oh, 14 viewers. Holy shit. Hello, everyone. But yeah, this is a big thing. This is a big thing for me. It's like a mental fortitude matters. And I'll talk about this in my power rankings, but Jesus Christ. But I do think that it really is an important thing where mental maturity, veteran leadership, it's a grind. This is a fucking hard thing to do. Playing 12 hours a day of the same game, you're going to hate it. There's going to be days you really don't like it. I think Overwatch League teams practice too much. But having a really great veteran presence, I think that's really going to mean a lot for especially the younger players, especially main tanks. Playing main tank can suck. Anyone who plays Winston or Reinhardt, you get CC, you get slept, you get Brigitte bashed. They grab you, you're holding your shield up. They shatter you again. Echo duplicates you, she shatters you. Jesus, everyone knows that. And especially if you're on a bad team, you're bad. If you're on a team that could be good, having veteran players to really show you how to deal with loss, deal with deal with development. It's hard for some people. So, god damn, man, I could talk about this all day. This is very exciting. So yeah, let's get back to the power rankings. I love everything in the chat. Love seeing everybody talk on it. I absolutely love it. All right, so back to the power ranking. LA Valiant, get that shit out of the way. Don't need to talk about them anymore. Let's see here. All right, so I'm just gonna, in the lieu of just getting the obvious ones out the way. First off, our top tier. Our top tier is the 2021 favorites. I thought about going bottom up. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way because I think everyone's really gonna know who's gonna be it. Yeah, Peter, Valiant with their own row because we're not gonna talk about them. They're dead to me. I'm gonna, dude. LA Valiant wins a championship. I will shave my head. I probably shouldn't have just said that, but you heard it here first. Okay. So, yeah, Jesus. Let's get this out the way. God, I hope Valiant don't win. Let's get this out of the way. My two favorites. Clip it. All right, my favorites for the Overwatch League 2021 season officially are, you would never guess, but it's going to be San Francisco Shock and the Shanghai Dragons. I'm going to put two teams in my 2021 favorites only. Two teams only because I think that's an appropriate amount of who's yeah, wow, surprise. Never want, like, we need that SpongeBob meme where Squidward's like feeling daring today, aren't we? But no Paris. Sorry, get Paris out of here. You don't want to know which one I'm putting them in. Sorry though. but yeah, San Francisco Shock, Shanghai Dragons. San Francisco Shock. We've any Overwatch League media you've seen, we know it. Crusty. They have the best stuff. They have the best overall roster. They have probably, in my opinion, one of the top 3 players in the league, Violet. I think Violet, there's people who are good at the roles. I think who's good at Overwatch, Violet is one of the top 3 players in the entire league. Across all roles. You see that dude's ranked? He's like 4,600 on all 3 roles. Do you know how hard that is? That's impossible. It's so hard to do. And you got that guy playing on flex support, which is crazy. Hey, Violet's toxic, but that dude's a fucking monster at Overwatch. And hey, I don't know, is he toxic? Because I know, because I remember seeing those reports that he was like, saying some unruly things in their game chats. I think that's what was happening last season, if I remember correctly. It's tough, but that dude, like, I'll just say it, that dude is fucking good at Overwatch. Misogynistic? Well, fuck. Well, hey, he's being misogynistic as fuck. Like you said, these dudes are kids. These dudes are kids, but he's good at Overwatch, and that's what they pay him for. And like we'll see if that stuff bites him in the ass. Let's see here. San Francisco Shock. But yeah, dude, their whole team is just insane. Super is really good. I think Super is still underrated. People meme him, but I think he's actually pretty good. What do you call it? Krusty, incredible coach. He built a really great roster around him. Something about the Shock though, they lost Junkbuck. Junkbuck was one of their assistant coaches, and now he is coaching Houston. He's assistant coaching with Harsha. So that might be a little bit of a loss of Shock, but that it is what it is. Shanghai Dragons. I think Shanghai Dragons talent-wise, I think across the board, Shanghai Dragons really is probably the most on paper the best roster in the league. Top to bottom. I really think that. Shanghai Dragons. Let's see if the roster. Let's pull them up. Shanghai Dragons right here. Jesus. You got 4 DPS players. You got Fleta, MVP of the league last year. You got Lip, MVP Canada last year. Erster from Atlanta. Erster tried to carry Atlanta for 2 seasons. That dude is really good. I don't know why they picked him up, to be completely honest, because he kind of plays what Fleta and Lip play, so I think Erster just might be a safety pick. And DM. What can you say about DM? That dude's fucking good at hits game heroes. That dude can win you fights alone. Iziaki and Lee Jae Gon, I think are great. Shanghai really, just top to bottom, I really, really feel like... Oh, thanks for tuning in, Rudy, Vernal X. Go follow her channel. Check her out. She's great. Her music stuff's absolutely amazing. Shanghai Dragons, I really do feel like they're probably the best roster top to bottom. They acquired Fate. They acquired Fate from the Florida Mayhem. Fate, he was on Valiant, Florida Mayhem. Now he's on Shanghai. I think he's a great pickup. My only nervousness about Shanghai, they only have one main tank player. That's what Fate plays. And like I said earlier, if your main tank isn't flexible and the meta flips, Fate's really good at Winston. I don't think he's good at Reinhardt. He's okay at Orisa. So, depending on whether the meta flips, if you don't have flexibility, that might bite him in the ass. And I think Shanghai might be in the mood to make some mid-season moves if they realize the meta changing on them, which is tough. I will say this. The reason why I wanted to stop and look at Shanghai, Lee Jae Gon. Lee Jae-gon to me is one of I can't say he's underrated, but I think secretly he was one of the best players last year. I love watching Lee Jae-gon play. I've never seen a more aggressive Lucio. He came out week 10 or week 8 versus Hongju Spark. He debuted last season. That dude was a monster. That dude was carrying the team on his own on that. Lee Jae-gon, I think last season, he, if Philadelphia, if Shanghai wasn't so dominant with Fleta on their team, I think Lee Jae-gon might have won Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. He was one of my favorite players. Unfortunately, Lee Jae-gon kind of lost his shit in the grand finals. They were really good, but if you go back and watch the VODs, Lee Jae-gon just started feeding, started playing Battle Mercy. I don't think he's good. I think they picked up Molly. As you can see here, they picked up Molly because Molly is better at Mercy. He's another support player. And I think they've realized that Lee Jae-gon, his tendency to play aggressive, this isn't really good for their team. They don't want to force him to be something he's not. So you have Molly who can play support. I don't know if they'll put him in, but that being said, I do think that Lee Jae-gon is, my opinion, one of the top candidates for Rookie of the Year this year. Or not Rookie of the Year, MVP this year. Especially if Shanghai can continue their rhythm of dominance. Lee Jae-gon is just aggressive. He fits their team style. People have criticized the coaching staff for Shanghai, saying they don't really coach. They just yell at them, tell them to practice, and and their players are just really good. If they keep their aggressive stance and have someone like Fleta, who just is a solid player and never fucks up, I think Shanghai Dragons were close to, if they made it to the grand finals last year, I think they could have been shocked. I really do. And hopefully a year. Izuyaki, this was his first year starting last year. Lee Jae-gon, he was a rookie last year, so he had to get some momentum in. Void was his first year being really the star player. He was a Gladiators, but he wasn't Grand Glads. Lip was his first season, fled on a new team. This team, given a year and the amount of the small amount of trades that Shanghai's made, I think they're going to be, personally, they're my favorite going to the season. I really believe. Okay, so enough for those two teams. We've been going on for an hour, so I really appreciate everyone sticking through this. This is going to be a long ass YouTube one. All right, so 20. Jared, you right, dude. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, look at the bottom tier. I carefully curated these tiers on the left. LA Valley own tier. They're on the bottom for a reason, not for good reason. All right, so 2021 favorites: San Francisco Shock and Shanghai Dragons in top favorites for the season. Teams that are great and capable of winning champs if they make certain changes, if their teams prove themselves to be consistent. Let's start ranking these teams. To start off, Philadelphia Fusion. Philadelphia Fusion have had an unfortunate turn. It's really unfortunate for them because they're having visa issues. If they didn't have visa issues, I'd be close to putting Philly up in the top tier. I think they're last season they had one of my earlier points about main tanks. Philadelphia Fusion has been so good for so long, for 3 seasons straight. Their coaching staff and their team culture is fucking amazing. I think Poco's a great culture player. Poco might not be the best technical player, but I think in terms of leadership, in terms of keeping the team vibe going, I think Fusion's been top of the league for the past few seasons, and I think that won't change this season. And with their pickups, I think they'll be really good. Yeah, Lo, I got you. Poco's fucking great. They picked up Mono, Philadelphia Fusion. Again, my trend of finding teams that really, really focus on getting a great main tank. I think Mono's great. I think New York Excelsior had a ceiling issue, but we've seen Philadelphia Fusion ceiling with a mediocre main tank in Sato. I think with a great main tank like Mono, who's someone who's consistent and adapts well to his team, I think with someone like that, I think Philadelphia Fusion's ceiling is super high. I wouldn't be pained in putting them in a favorite list if you find out that the visas can get settled in. Someone really good, I can't remember who it was, but someone said that a Korean player said the best main support in the league right now is Funny Astro. And I'd be hard to disagree with that. Funny Astro is amazing. I was a little nervous about how Funny Astro would perform last season. Surprise, surprise. Jesus Christ, that dude was good. That dude was way better than I knew he'd be good. I didn't think he'd be that good. He was, him and Alarm on the team. That's just unfair. It really is unfair. So Philadelphia Fusion, if they can settle their issues out, they picked up Toby. Toby's good. I'd say, if I had to rank the top 20 main supports from the Overwatch League, I put Toby 9. He's fine. So I think that'll get them by in the tough APAC division. But Philly just really needs their star players. They need Funny Astro, and AQO I think is a sleeper. EQO kind of hit the scene big in season 1, and I think he's just high. I think he could be way better than people think. Funny Astro is great. So Philadelphia Fusion, we're there and there. Seoul Dynasty. I won't go in a long spiel about every team. I'll talk about the teams that I think are important. Seoul Dynasty made it to grand finals last year. They're a weird team. They're a very weird team. It's tough. It's tough to rank Seoul Dynasty, but them getting to grand finals and getting pretty fucking close to, making your run to win the championship, I think can be overstated. I think if the meta fits them again, Seoul is the ultimate boomer bust team. They're either going to be fucking amazing or they're going to be trash. And I think, but I will take the bets on their explosive potential. Because Jesus, you look at their, again, really great main tank Gesture season 1 champion. That dude is just good. That dude is solid. He can play most every hero. He's really good at Orisa. I think he's one of the better Orisas. People don't talk about him much on that hero, but I think he's great. Him and Prophet have just unparalleled synergy. Them alone, Prophet and Gesture alone puts Seoul at the top of the list for me. Creative was a support player that a lot of people didn't talk about. In the shadow of Ryu Jae-hong, Creative didn't get a lot of love, but that dude's really good. And hopefully, he's good at Ana, but hopefully he can get widen his hero pool a bit. Seoul Dynasty, big boomer bust. They don't have Michelle anymore. I thought Michelle was pretty good. But Seoul Dynasty has a lot of potential. It's really up to their coaching staff. Seoul Dynasty, if they do another season of they're kind of good, but then they're bad, but they're good. Seoul Dynasty, you hate to be a fan of theirs because 1 week they'll beat Shanghai, the next week they'll straight up just lose to Chengdu 3-0. You hate to see it, and that's reality of a team. That's a sign of poor coaching to me. That's a sign of the coaching staff just saying, "Fuck, I hope our players can pop off," and it can work. It can work every once in a while. A playoff run is obviously a big thing and a good time to be hot, but longevity speaking, Seoul is I think Seoul can win it. I don't have faith, if that makes sense. Another team that I think is capable of winning it if they're good, Gladiators. Gladiators, I have a Gladiators jersey back there. Gladiators, I really do think are very capable, extremely capable of running the table and making a big splash here. So all you Gladiators fans, shields up. If you haven't checked the new voice lines in the Archives event, Reinhardt actually has a shields up line added to his voice line roster. So buy that, equip that, and shields up. Let's look at their roster real fast. I did want to stop and look at these guys because they're big pickups. Let's do it by roll. Space is fucking incredible. He doesn't get the credit he's due, especially in off-tank. Koreans dominate the off-tank position. Space is very good. Means a lot. It really does mean a lot. Space is incredible, and I think Space has actually emerged. I've heard he's a quiet kid, and wasn't really in a leadership position, especially Valiant Season 1. Everyone knew Space was one of their best players, but Custa was kind of the vocal leader. Space, I think, has kind of grown into himself, and I really hope that if Space can be a leader and help push his team, I think he'll be a vocal and spiritual. I mean, spiritual. He's loud. He's loud on stream. I feel you low. Space is their X factor, in my opinion. Space is really good. If he can become the leader that we all thought he would be season 1, Gladiators will be good. They picked up Muse, really hot main tank from. He wasn't Runaway, was he? He wasn't Runaway, but I remember 2 seasons ago. He was in Eternal Academy. I remember 2 seasons ago, people were pretty hot on this dude. Young dude, just turned 18. Specializes. It's funny. The signature heroes, Orisa and Wrecking Ball. What? Whose signature is Orisa? But whatever. That's gonna be big. Kevster, I've heard rumors. People say that Kevster, with good ping, Kevster could be one of the best DPS players in the league. Which, coming from people saying that about a European player, is a big surprise. Moth. Oh baby, I don't know what Skewed's point is in this role. I mean, it says he plays flex. I don't know if they don't believe in Shu. I don't know a lot of teams that have multiple support players, but this might be a Moth is one of the most solid players. I never put him as the best main support. I put him always in top 4, probably top 4, top 3. But if Moth's ceiling isn't super high, his floor is the highest of any support player. I'll put it that way. Moth is very rarely bad. He'll never be the reason you lose. He might not be the huge ass playmaker that you'll see someone like Lee J Gondu. You might not see him pop off and just carry the team, but you couldn't ask for a better consistent player than Moth. Dude's smart. Famously, I think he got a perfect score on his SATs. Dude's a genius. And especially when you're on the top tier of teams, a lot of big things in success is consistency. I think that's in life. I think that's in sports. Consistency is what's hard. Lo, thank you for tuning in, man. Good luck packing, and really appreciate you tuning in. And I will post up, for anyone that missed this, I will post up the VOD on YouTube. Might try to cut down a few things here and there, but just in time interest, I might just clip it and push it out, so you can finish the rest. But yeah, Lo, before you go, Gladiators, I think they're one of my favorites for the season. Moth, Jesus Christ, Moth is a great kid. Moth is I think Moth is what will push them over. I always loved Big Goose and Shaz. I love them, I really do. But I think Moth, and particularly Shu, I think Shu gives you just a little bit more of an edge in the playmaking ability. So everyone say bye to Lo. Shout out to Big Goose. Big Goose is my guy. He's a big man. He's a big person. He's not a big personality, but I love that dude. It sucks to see Shaz and Big Goose retire. They were legends of the community. I love seeing players stick together with a player and have that friendship. I love it. But Shu, I think, is very underrated. Shu season 2, people were thinking of him as a rookie of the year. He's got a really high ceiling. Moth is really consistent. So my big thing is, as Muse, I think the hardest thing with Glads is how will Muse fit with the rest of the team. Everyone else except for Skewed on the Gladiators roster, they're all veterans, so they know how to operate. So it's really up to Moth and Space to really teach Muse how to be a good player and how to consistently stay good. Because Moth and Space are both known for that, especially in a mixed roster team. Especially Moth. Moth is really experienced with working with Smurf, Jorhyobin, Muse. If he has any apprehension about being in a multinational team, with you got Kevster, is that Denmark? Sweden. Yeah, that is Sweden. You have Chris, you have Mirror, who's Vietnamese, but I think he's Canadian American. And you got Moth and Space, your two vocal leaders who are American. I think it's going to be very important. So, big veteran presences there. All right, so those, and then sleeper team, the other team that I think has a chance to win it, Washington Justice. Washington Justice, and that's not just because Washington Justice. That's not just because people on Twitter and the Scrimbucks have been rising on Washington. I think their team's pretty good. I think they got Jerry. Yeah, they got Jerry on their team. Jesus, who else? Jesus Christ. Washington Justice. Shit, I might end up just going over every team. Washington Justice. Everyone's been talking a lot about them. Again, another big main tank pickup. They picked up Mag. People are very high on Mag. Fury is an absolutely incredible pickup. Fury will guide Mag. Even if Mag's just okay, having Fury with him to kind of coach him and mentor him, that'll be a big deal. You got Bebe from Hongshu, who's pretty good. Closer has been a secret support that's been very good over the past few seasons. He's just never been a star, but I think he's a solid pickup. Tuba's really good. Decay. One fun stat, Decay obviously is really good. Jerry was on Boston, terrible last year. Jerry, statistically, I think he has the highest final blows to death ratio of any player in the entire league, if I read the stats tab right. He had 2.8, which is basically a 3-to-1 KD ratio. And that was over everybody. Jerry's very good. And him getting on a team with star players like Fury and Decay, it'll be hard to deal with both Fury, or hard to deal with Decay and Jerry at the same time. And they're both flexible. They both play hit scan. And Decay also plays everything else under the fucking sun. So, very high on Washington. Assassin, don't know why he's there. Bebe and Closer, Washington Justice will live and die on how good the support duo can keep up. I think of all the teams, I think when I look at Washington, I look at Bebe and Closer, and I think that might be their weakest roster, their weakest group, position group of players. We're gonna go with that. Okay, so San Francisco and Shanghai are favorites. Philly, Seoul, Gladiators, Washington. Those are my favorites for winning the championship, or Big Series. So now that we've gotten to the top 6 teams, so we're 7 teams down. So that means we have 13 teams to go through. Now we're gonna move on to teams that they're good. Some of these teams are on the ceiling of being great. It just time will tell. and some of them are good. They'll upset some people, but like they're still kind of they're missing a piece that might not push them over the edge. First up, Atlanta. Personally, I don't know enough about Atlanta to really make an educated guess. Some people's power rankings have them pretty high. Atlanta's always been kind of good, but something about their team, Atlanta gets worse as the season goes on. They lost Baby Bay, who I think was a star player. Atlanta's gotten worse, and that bothers me. They always start off hot, and then for some reason they just table. And I think that's on coaching. That might be on player management. Some teams, once you lose competitive fire, you start not practicing as hard. Your communication starts to break down. A big thing about veteran teams is, does a loss affect you and your momentum? If one loss or one bad streak of games kills your team's momentum, you're kind of fucked. And I think Atlanta's kind of hit that wall in recent times. Their tournament tables weren't great last year. Their roster has, generally speaking, stayed the same. So Atlanta, they're close to being on the great. This is me just basing it off of some other people's preseason rankings. They seem like they could make a splash, but time will tell on them. Let's see here. Edison, Pelican, Kai, kind of random pickups, and then the coaching staff's been kind of all over the place. So we're gonna go with that. Okay, so moving on from Atlanta, another team that I think that's good but has a ceiling, Dallas Fuel. People are gonna be very surprised about Dallas Fuel because at first I thought that with the amount of pickups, they stole everyone from Paris, unfortunately. But Jesus, it sucks to see. But I thought they'd be really great. But I'm very curious about all the reports of people saying that they're not as great as they thought they were, which is a bit concerning. FD God said that in an interview with a French outlet. FD God, who was on Paris, that might just be him being salty. But he played with those guys, and having a former teammate, FD God, who was played with Sparkle, played with Hanbin, played with Rush, the coach. Him saying that means a lot to me. That opinion matters. So Dallas, Dallas is the biggest wild card, I think, of the season. Something about Dallas sports, I don't know what it is, but Dallas Fuel, you could either be really incredible. I think Dallas could become top 4 team if their team could figure out how to work together and really improve. The coaching will be Dallas Fuel's make it or break it, because we know their players are good. So can this coach manage the egos? They're all former Element Mystic guys. Can they convince their team to work well together and keep grinding? Because I think especially when you play with your friends for a long time, you can kind of lose the thing where, oh well, if we're not winning, we're just here for a good time. I want to see if Rush and they have Aid, who was a former Toronto Defiant player, who's now one of their support coaches. I'd love to see Dallas Fuel make a run for the table. They're the biggest wild card of the season. They're either going to be fucking amazing or they're going to be another disappointing Dallas team, which I hope it's not the latter. But Dallas Fuel, they're my big team to watch. Washington, I think, was that, but I think Dallas will be the ultimate boomer bust team. Guangzhou Charge. Guangzhou Charge has secretly been a really, really great team. They really have. Their tournament results have spoken for themselves. They've been very close to winning tournaments. They won the Summer Showdown. They lost Shu, which I think is an unfortunate thing. A big loss for them. But they picked up Kareev. Kareev is a big player. Kareev has consistently proven himself to be an impressive player. Very aggressive support. Let's see if the rest of the team can keep up with him. Kareev kind of lost his synergy with the Toronto Defiant last year. And Toronto Defiant just went through so many unfortunate changes. I think it was a fortunate scenario. And I think Kareev is a big pickup for Guangzhou. I think Rio is their main tank. Rio is going to be their make or break player in terms of, I think he's an okay main tank. I think it might hold him back a little bit. Eileen, I think, is a very good DPS player. Guangzhou Charge. Wow. I think I misspelled Guangzhou Charge at one point. Krong is an incredible player. Kareev Mondu was a kid who didn't get to play much on New York Excelsior last year. That was pretty tough. That you hate to see that. You really hate to see Mondu not get to prove himself in New York, but we'll see what happens. The DPS line, biggest thing. Choi Sehwan. I don't know much about this kid, but I remember he was on Element Mystic. It's odd that this kid of all the kids didn't go with the other Element Mystic guy. Maybe just because he was a cycle behind them. But this kid, I'm very curious how this kid plays out with the rest of Guangzhou Charge. But just based on coaching staff alone, How they performed last year, they could be really good this year. Not top tier, not championship material, but enough to sour some people's brackets in the upcoming tournaments. Let's see here. Next up, surprisingly, I have New York Excelsior. This is going to be actually, you know what? Let me move them. Let me slow down on this one. I don't want to have too many people on the good but has a ceiling team. I'll say, actually, sorry, not New York Excelsior. A team that was one of my personal favorites from last year that I think could be very good. Florida Mayhem. Florida Mayhem, I think, is very underrated. Something about their players. I think last year they had the symptom of their players were pretty good, but they didn't have enough star power to really push them over the edge. Particularly on main support, Chris on Florida Mayhem, he has retired. It's unfortunate to see, but the Florida Mayhem, Chris was a good team player. I've heard from everyone that he was a really great leader. Everyone loved him on the team, kept the vibe up, which I think is obviously a very valuable asset. But I think Florida realized if we want to win, if we want to, take ourselves seriously and not be the Florida Mayhem memes that they've been for the first 2 seasons of the Overwatch League, they have to get stars. And they got rid of Chris. They picked up OGE, who, McGravy had a great thing on his stream recently where McGravy said, OGE's skill has never been questioned. It's about his mental fortitude and his ability to adapt. And if he can adapt, Gargoyle, I think, is an underrated main tank or off tank. OGE was their big pickup, and what is it? Slime. They replaced Chris with Slime. Slime, who, if you don't remember, Slime was one of the big players on the Vancouver Titans in season 2 on their big run. He went to Seoul last year. Didn't get to play much. They kept Toby because I think Toby worked better with the team because he had history. So Slime was benched, and now he went to Florida where he will obviously be a starter. Florida is my big sleeper team. I thought Gamnam Jin going into last season was my rookie of the year. That kid is good. That kid is super good. I know it's flex support, and flex support doesn't always have the biggest effect on teams, but Gamnam Jin is really solid. Slime, I'm glad he gets another chance to prove himself because I do think Slime is an extremely impressive player, especially in GOATs. In GOATs, your main support player was extremely important. You had so many responsibilities as that main Lucio player that the really best team, in my opinion, I thought the best teams in GOATs had the best main supports. Vancouver and San Francisco Shock, Moth and Slime, they were 2 big reasons why they were so good. So, and also, if you didn't know, really good main supports can save your main tank. It's not your flex supports that often do the heroes with the best healing. It's your main supports who can ferry the team fight and control the pace, especially on that Lucio role. I think your main support, especially if your main tank isn't playing well, your main support is that teammate who will really save their assets when shit starts to go to hell. Yaki, don't know who that is, to be completely honest. Or not Yaki, Checkmate. Don't know who that is. We'll see how he fits in the team. But BQB and Yaki are super solid. BQB is very good, really good, consistent hits game player. Doesn't always pop off, but he's always consistently putting out damage. I like. But yeah, OG. If Slime and OG can come up, I think Florida, of all these 4 teams on our a good but has a ceiling, I would say Dallas and Florida to me have the biggest upside. Florida Mayhem's X factor, in my opinion, is Kuki. Kuki was a former support player who ended up becoming the head coach for Florida last year. I think that dude's great. I really do. And he's building his roster well. I don't know if his coaching is the best, but I think they're Albert Yee, their GM, and Kuki have done a really great job of building the roster. And I think if they can harness the players that they've acquired, I think Florida has if all these teams looking here, I don't know if I believe in Dallas just because Dallas is cursed, to be completely honest. But I do think that Florida could be the biggest surprise of all these teams. So that's my good. That is my good, but has a ceiling tier. Good, but has a ceiling tier. We're done with them. We're moving on. So next up, our next rankings on these things are teams that are mid-table. Some people might consider me. Some people might consider this an odd take. I'll put Toronto Defiant. I'm gonna put Toronto Defiant in mid-table. A lot of people have them as being good. I think they can be pretty good. They have some players that I really enjoy. To be completely honest, I'm just curious how good excuse me, what's that? Oh, excuse me. I'm very curious how good these players can sort of gel. they're kind of a hodgepodge of they're kind of the Mighty Ducks of kids, like just kids from all over the place, from all across the neighborhood that you kind of toss together and hope they do good. Um, if you did not know, on the Toronto Defiant coaching staff, the coaching staff from the head coach of Philadelphia, KDG, he left Philadelphia to move over to Toronto, and KDG has been a big reason why Philadelphia has had a lot of success. So you have to take that into factor. The main coach effect is a big deal, and he brought over Sato, brought over I think that's the only player he brought over. But that main coach difference alone makes me have a careful eye on Toronto. Sato, I think he followed KDG. Sato, I think we've seen he was really good at one point last year, but I think Sato just very clearly has a mental ceiling. There's just some metas that Sato is not good at. He is absolute dog shit in. Like Philadelphia got destroyed in the Hog Sigma meta with a double sniper. And we know Philly last year had good players on their DPS role. So you knew Sato. Unfortunately, he's been the weak link with Philadelphia. I think he's been holding him back. So bringing him in Toronto, that makes me nervous. Beast was not great last year. I think he was thrust into playing many roles that I think he wasn't ready for. One big curious thing that I've noticed is a narrative thread that's been coming through. Some people think that NA, Northwestern players, are better at Reinhardt than Korean players. Everyone says that, this is a stereotype thing, but just from recent reports, some people have said that the Korean servers, they prefer to play Winston. They were really good at double shield. They're good at those strategic comps. And NA teams are really good at rush. And right now, the current meta is rush. Toronto looked kind of good last year in the first 5 weeks because the meta was May, McCree, Reinhardt rush with the diva. It seems like that's the meta we're going back to, just with the BAP now. At that flex support role. So Beast could be an interesting pickup, or not a pickup. He's a veteran, but that could be interesting. But Toronto, Lastro, who knows what that kid's gonna do. Isu is another kid that another guy that they brought in from Philly to pair with Sato. Michelle came from Seoul. I just don't know if these guys are gonna really work well together. So Toronto could have a good ceiling. Maybe with over time, Toronto could improve, but I think they're generally speaking gonna be mid-table. New York Excelsior in the APAC region. New York Excelsior is going to be interesting. I don't know how I feel about New York because they threw away their entire roster. It's literally all new people. Jonax, their only dude. I've never felt like Jonak was a dude you played around. I'm trying to think of a best way to put this. New York has been interesting where Jonak's the player they played around, but I never felt like he was the player to lead the team. I always thought that was very an interesting split. He never felt like, and I could be wrong, but they built their team around his playstyle, but they didn't build their team around his leadership. I always felt like Mono and Sabiolbi, they were the team captains. They were the dudes that really set the pace. And for Jonak, he's got this little crown right here on the team captain. Can Jonak be a leader? Can Jonak set the team? Can he set the team culture? That's the biggest thing. Because when you look at these players, who's Friday? Who's Feather? Ivy, you kind of know. Flora, no one knows who that is. Guangbong, he was a sought after DPS player. Apparently, he's really good at hit scan. They destroyed Guangzhou Charge in their show match, in their open scrim. I mean scrims, but who knows? Yeah, Yakpung, Bianca. None of these guys have been key players on their teams over the past few seasons. Yakpung, 2 seasons ago, when Yakpung was on Toronto in 2019, Yakpung, from what I hear, was one of the best main tanks coming up. And he had a lot of expectations, and he kind of stalled to the point where Toronto started replacing their team of Western players. Toronto's 2019 was a big drama. They lost their head coach. They kind of switched team languages mid-season. It was tough. So New York Excelsior, can Jonak become a leader? That's going to be the big thing. It could be a big surprise. Dude, F to CBLB leaving New York Excel. That's tough. Spencer's right in the chat. It's gonna be real tough. CBLB, CBLB's on Seoul. I've always felt like CBLB is a good veteran presence. I don't know if his skill matches his value as a person, but I love great players. I think team culture, team culture pushes good teams into great tiers, and especially if a team gets hot, having a great culture really can really elevates a team to higher heights than what you would imagine they would have. So and yeah, Jonak, time to find out what this dude's made of. It's his team. New York Excel. He was the MVP of season 1. I think for the first time in Jonak's career, New York is his team and his team alone. And now it's time to see if he can be the guy, which I'm here for. But I think just due to their youth, their inexperience, I don't think New York has any expectations to be top tier this season. Let's see here. Surprising team. One team that this is going to be my hot take for the entire year. My hot take. I think a team that will be better than what people think is London Spitfire. London Spitfire, that's right. The team that threw away their entire Korean roster, went full Western. Western's not even the right term. Full European, basically. I think the you're looking at it right here. I think the London Spitfire. That's what we're talking about right now. They are the my team to not win the championship. I think they'll be surprising. You don't hear many people talk about that, which I'm very excited for them. Because London Spitfire is like the worst Dallas Fuel. A lot of their players have played together before on British Hurricane. He brought in their British Hurricane management, I believe. If you didn't know, British Hurricane, the contenders version of the London Spitfire, British Hurricane went 12-0 in their contenders run. They didn't lose. It was almost a joke. People on Twitter were like, there's no point in watching European contenders because you knew British Hurricane was going to win. And, there was rumors last year that some contenders teams were beating Overwatch League teams. And I'm pretty sure British Hurricane was a team that other teams would scrim against if they could. And they were beating Overwatch League teams. And I think especially that Commander X and Fisher, that coaching staff, I think with players that they're familiar with, along with some key people that they brought in. Blase apparently was shredding in scrims, or in not auditions, tryouts. Blase, I think, is a player that's always been pretty good. He's never been coached well, in my opinion, and the team's kind of that toxicity of his public perception kind of bled into his lack of performance. Blase, the right click McCree. Why the fuck is Blase playing McCree? It's question number 1. Anyway, that being said, I think Shax is a great pickup with the Valiant tossing away their roster. I think I wasn't as hot on Spitfire, but Shax is a big pickup. Shax was incredible on LA Valiant. He had one of the best traits and performances ever. Reaper was a Gladiator support that was a bench player, but he has Overwatch League experience. Kellex has always been a very consistent main support. On Boston, I always thought Kellex was a secret weapon for the Boston Uprising Season 3. Season 3 with Krusty. Krusty recruited Kellex. Krusty, the head coach of San Francisco Shock, who's put together a lot of great rosters. I think players that he picked up in Season 1, I think all of them should be looked upon as surprisingly good players. Kellex, like season 1, Stage 3, Boston Uprising did the first undefeated stage, went 10-0 in Stage 3 under Krusty's leadership. Kellex was a big part of that, and I think Kellex is a very impressive player in my opinion. Not your best player, but better than you think. So I think him on main support would be big. Hattie and Mulf, I think their tank line is going to determine whether or not London's going to be good or not. Hattie was a British Hurricane guy. That's funny. They brought in a bunch of Owl people, Owl veterans, except for their main tank line, or their off-end main tank line, which I think it says a lot about the value of having a good tank line. And it's kind of like what happened with Lolshish and Elivote in Washington. They were always shopped around as a pair. Everyone always thought that you don't buy one without the other, because that synergy at the tank position, it's hard to replicate. So London is my of all the teams that no one's expecting much out of, I think London will be pretty good. Okay, let's see here. Other teams. Boston. Let's do a quick look at Boston. Boston Uprising. Time will tell. I don't trust their management. I really don't. Huck. Mineral. Mineral was a coach for Florida Mayhem, and then was a coach for Boston last year. And I'm just being honest. No bad feelings to the guy, but I just think Mineral isn't, as a coach, just isn't up to snuff. He really isn't. I think Huck's had 3 years to prove himself and 3 seasons of mediocrity. And God, Huck fired the best coach in the league. Boston Uprising had Krusty, and because Huck and Krusty had some drama, they couldn't set their team priorities correctly. Crusty left for San Francisco Shock, and history's written. Boston Uprising. Can you imagine a world where Boston Uprising is the best team in the league because they have Crusty, the best head coach, who's able to attract incredible players? That alone just makes me salty, and Boston, I don't know if I can have faith in, based purely on their management, which sucks because their players are pretty good. Menbong's really good. They picked up Stand 1. Stand 1 was on Shanghai last year. I think they're going to have fusions focus on playing Reinhardt and Winston, and they're going to have Stand 1 play Orisa and Wrecking Ball. The roster seems to be built out pretty good. The new coach, Lori. Where did Lori coach? I can't remember where did Lori coach. Lori was the head coach at WGS Phoenix. Not a team that was especially known for their great results. But that being said, Boston could be really good. Some people have them higher in the power rankings. I just, on their management, I don't know what to expect from them. And I hate to do this to them. I really do. I'm a Houston Outlaws fan. We're going to go down to the rebuilding tier. These are teams that I don't think have a good chance. They'll win a few games, but if we're being real about ourselves, they're just going to be, they're rebuilding. Their rosters are rebuilding. They're going to, they're trying to do what they can. And, oh, dude. Yeah, Spencer, management kills me, dude. Any professional sports team, getting good people in your building changes everything about your entire team culture. Good players who would be good end up being bad due to bad management. Saya player had a tough management his first 2 seasons, and now he's in Valorant, killing it pretty good. I'll say this about your professional lives in your workplace. Something that my favorite sportscaster said. He says this every year about good players who have the bad fortune of ending up on a bad team. My favorite quote is, "You can't escape bad management. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter your trajectory. Your background doesn't matter. If whatever your talent level is, if your management isn't bad, the people above you who are facilitating your talent, if they're bad, you can't escape that. It sucks. It really does. But it's the truth. And good players, especially in traditional sports, especially in recent years, as the public is more willing to accept players who are changing teams, good players should want to chase good management. Because some people like to have that hero complex. Some people like to have the hero complex of taking a team and bringing them to the promised land. But honestly, and from my opinion, I think if you feel like you're talented and you have the proof to show it, I think you need to get out. And the bad management kills a lot of people's careers, which sucks. And you hate to see it with Overwatch League players because they're young. The money isn't as good. If an Overwatch League player was getting paid, 10 million to be on a bad team, I'd feel one way, but they're not. So find good management, everybody, because good management is what will make your life way better. So that being said, moving on to our rebuilding tier. These are teams that, due to either management or poor roster management or finances or whatever the case may be, they're just teams that are kind of here to play and might make a splash here or there, but it is what it is. My first rebuilding team is Houston Outlaws. I hate to say it because I am a Houston fan. I am from Texas. I don't want to support the Dallas Fuel, not out of any malicious reasons, just Houston was my guys. And I told a lot of people this about my feelings about Houston. Houston to me has always been, especially the first 2 seasons, Houston's always been a team that has their synergy was great. I liked the players on Houston Outlaws. I thought their team synergy was incredible, which is why people really like them as a team. I thought their players, in terms of skill ceiling, they were a bunch of probably at best B players that had the teamwork of an A+ team, or maybe an A team. So B players plus A team equals about a B+ performance. And you could see them, like season 1, Houston could beat London Spitfire. I think they were 3-0 against them throughout the regular season. So there's something there. There's some magic there with their core. But at a certain point, you can't have one. If you want to be a top tier team, you can't have a but. All the from mid table down, or even from my 4th tier, good but has a ceiling. From that tier down, all these teams have a but. And your top tier teams, They don't have a but. They don't have a they're good, but this. That's what we're playing with. Houston was always their teamwork's great. I think their management's actually very good. They do a great job of marketing. I think Houston has everything, but their players were never the best. And maybe Bonga's Owl Tier List sponsored by American Airlines. Is that who was on here? Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Actually, I'm a Delta guy. Don't tell anyone, but I prefer Delta. But let me take a look at Houston Outlaws real fast. Houston this year, they picked up Junkbuck, the coach from San Francisco Shock. So, and one thing I did want to say with all these roster, these things could change. This is just my first impression about how I feel about going into the season. I'm gonna love to be able to look back on this and see if I was right, and see if players move or if coaching changes happen or who gets benched or whatever. I'm very excited to see how my things could be wrong. I want to be wrong. As much as I like being right, I love to be proven wrong because that means there's something we can learn from it. That's the best thing about being wrong. If you're right all the time, that means you're not making bold enough guesses, or you're an absolute future man genius, which I am not. So I'm very excited. I want to be wrong about Houston. I think Houston has kind of with London, but I think London has a better chance. Houston, I don't know if I believe in Harsha. I thought Harsha would be really good because of his time with Vancouver, but last season was a dumpster fire, and that put too much of a sour taste in my mouth. Junkbuck, though, has a really great track record. He picked up 2 Korean tanks, picking Jonggu, 2 rookies, so that'll be interesting. They picked up Crimzo, Juby. Juby's a risk. He just turned 18. Juby's a heavy risk, so I want to see what's up with that. Their DPS line is fucking great, though. I'll say that. Dante's probably the best Western DPS player, I think. It says a lot that people have built, of all players. I never thought of Dante as a star player, but he was on Shock back in Season 1. Then he got traded to Houston. I think that Dante's a good player to build around. Happy's a big pickup. KSF, I'm not very excited about. None of these players really excite me. I'm excited about Juby, see how he does. Jake, I know he's on the team, but I think he's pretty much operating as just a coach. They might let him play every once in a while, or if Junkrat's, if they play Anubis or some shit. But for all intents and purposes, I think Houston's in a rebuilding year. They want to see how their new tank line does, because the rest of their team is all Overwatch League veterans. So Houston's rebuilding, second team rebuilding. Hangzhou Spark. I'll be completely honest, I don't know a whole lot about Hangzhou Spark, but they popped off season 2. Last season didn't really do much. They picked up Architect. They made some moves, but honestly, I just don't know much about Hangzhou enough to really be able to make a great judgment. And based on the results from last year, their standings were look at that, they were 500, but they might be real big. Of all my rankings and assessments of these teams, Hangzhou Spark, they just haven't made anything exciting. And just for due diligence, we're gonna look at them. His due diligence. Who knows? They picked up a lot of Chinese players. Their roster is built very interesting. Yeah, Hangzhou Architect was on the team last year, which I find interesting. Shy was a guy that was on this pickup is interesting. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could have almost all Chinese supporting starting lineup. That could be pretty interesting. IDK, I love IDK as a player. Somansu is a pickup from Vancouver. A year off. Does he still have the skills? Can he keep up in a non-GOATS era? We'll find out. A lot of question marks, honestly. A lot of question marks on this team, especially with their new support pickups. Because I don't think they'd pick up these guys if they weren't planning to play them. So, I am putting Hangzhou Spark in the rebuilding / not sure how they're going to operate team. They could go up to mid-table. I don't think they're going to be anything but mid. Do they really have a player named Takayaki? Instant S2. He's inactive, bro. Oh, he's underage. When does he turn 18? Look at this guy. Look at his Chad. Look at that hair. Look at that hair. Oh, he turns 18 5 days. So yeah, maybe this kid's gonna be good. Maybe this I thought everyone knows Gushwei is good. Of all the things about Hangzhou, Gushwei is my only non-question mark. Dude's fucking good. He's a for lack of a better term, incredible at Winston. And maybe that's their plan. Maybe Bernard's on off tank. Maybe they're gonna take Gushwei and then give Takoyaki the main tank stuff. The main tank role. The other main tank. Yeah, Primal Blades, right? Hungry Spark, and then to round out Paris. You hate to see what happened to the roster. I think part of it was a player exodus. I think they had a feeling that Paris really wanted to cut back on their spending in season 2. That's one of the unfortunate things. There's no salary cap in Overwatch League as far as I understand. If you don't know what a salary cap is in professional sports, teams have a certain amount of money. There's a cap of money that the teams agree upon that they're allowed to spend on a team. So if I was an Overwatch League team and I had 10 play, made up salary cap is $100. For the entire season, I have $100 to give across all my players on my roster. So then I have to consider, hey, do I hire less players but I pay each individual player more, or do I hire more players but have to pay them less per piece, or whatever that ratio is. Paris, it seems like was the victim of COVID. Maybe they lost money, maybe they didn't, especially because they're isolated out in France. Maybe they couldn't pay their players, but their big star pickup players they paid for all went to Dallas, which sucks. Yes, some homestand. Would you see that? Some homestands will be live in China. If you could send me that article or link it in the chat, I'll take a look at it. I'll pull it up on stream. That's great. Paris, for all intents and purposes, they have some players. They got Neptuno. I love Neptuno as a player. Paris rebuild year. They got fucked. Lack of a better term, they got fucked. Hongzhu tweeted 1 hour ago. Let's take a look. Hongzhu charge, lol. Nice. Hell yeah. Pull up this. Nice. Oh man, I didn't know they were releasing this today. I'll be real with you guys. I knew about this already. I'm very excited for you guys to be able to check out the live events. If anyone watching didn't, who's not in the Blizzard team, I knew about these. Very excited for it. I don't know many details about these live events, but I'm fucking excited that we're going to be able to see the Asian audience is going to be able to witness Overwatch League live, because it is one of the best experiences of your life. It's fucking great, especially if you understand the game and you're within a crowd who really gets it. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Got June 4th, June 6th, the June Joust. Their host teams, one in Hangzhou, one in Shanghai, one in Guangzhou. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's really great news to see live on the stream. I really love to see it. I'm glad it's official and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be absolutely. Oh, that is interesting. Oh, that's really interesting. So the Korea-based teams, Nixel, Fusion, and Dynasty, will not travel. They will be based on servers. That's amazing. That's cool to see, and I'm excited. It sucks that those teams can't travel into China, but COVID safety first. The ping should be pretty good. So, really exciting news. Let's see. Yeah, live events, baby. It's gonna be great. Man, I wish I could fly to China. All right. Paris. Yeah. Let's round out these rankings here. Eternal. Let's take a look at the roster real fast. Paris. What can you say about these guys? Dan. Dan's unknown quantity. Just a lot of, he's a revival main thing. No, nothing against these guys really. Just a lot of question marks. A lot of low ceilings. Low ceilings. Floor is okay, but they'll make some noise. They'll be Paris Eternal will be a team that plays Overwatch against other people. That is as much as I can say about the Paris Eternal. Maybe they'll make a splash. Neptuno could be good. Oni God was a Dallas Fuel player. That was kind of interesting last year. We'll see about them. Chengdu, Forest. I'm really sorry. The UN roster. Seriously, look at their nationality split was crazy. Rooting for them. Hey, I want Paris to. Look, if you're looking at my power rankings, I never want a team to do badly, other than the Valiant. But Paris, rebuilding year. That's the reality of life, reality of sports. Some teams just won't be good. Just really won't be good, and that's fine. And there's always next season. Sorry, Cleveland Browns. There's always next season. I just hope some of these teams. I hope Houston isn't in rebuilding every year like they have been. But yeah, Forest, I hate to do this to you. I really do. Chengdu, I'm putting in rebuilding. Chengdu, man, something they just can't get themselves over the hump. Maybe this will be the year. Maybe this is the year that I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong. They have a lot of people on their roster. Chengdu has a fucking ton of people on their roster. Late Young got bumped down. At least we're not Valiant. That's the if all shit goes to hell, if there's an earthquake, the San Andreas fault just splits off and California becomes an island, I will say, at least we're not the LA Valiant. That's my my safety blanket of it could be worse. It could be the Valiant. But yeah, Chengdu Hunters, like I just what is two-way? Two-way. If you're a two-way player in the Overwatch League, you are eligible to play in both Contenders and in Overwatch League. If you have if your team owns a Contenders team, it was a Hunters Academy. Do they own a small team? I don't know what their feeder team is. So, for example, if you're Paris Eternal and then you have Eternal Academy, if you have a two-way player, you can have a guy who's the main tank on your academy team, but if you need him in a pinch, or you want to give him a shot, you can promote him to the main roster. This was a really big thing in Season 2. We'll never give up. Let's see here. Two-way is basically just you have a backup player just in case you want to add some fresh blood, or he's a player that he's not ready yet to be on the main stage, but you do want to be able to put him in a game and be like, hey, get some experience, get some time in at the pace that we play at, and we'll go from there. So you got those. So yeah, Chengdu, who knows? Like, God, what was their standings last year? Chengdu was number 14. When you look at the standings last year, other than Boston and Washington, who were obvious kind of a bottom tier, the mid tier, your mid tiers is actually mid tiers last year. The mid tiers of last year's rankings were pretty surprising. Everyone's within about 2 to 3 wins of each other, which says a lot. But one thing that is interesting, you can look at the splits. So like Atlanta was 10-11, one game away from Dallas Fuel, but they won 17 more, or 7 plus 9. Better math. 16 more maps than Atlanta won 16 more maps than Dallas did in the middle tiers. So, anyway, I digress. We'll see. Chengdu, what are they gonna do? Hey, Chengdu, what you gonna do? Hey, Chengdu, what you gonna do? Sorry, thinking of Space Jam. I would play Space Jam right now and do that rap if I could, without getting DMCA'd. Yeah, Chengdu. If they're, I hope Chengdu's more than a meme team. I love pandas. They've always been interesting. I want to see the auto Chad. I honestly don't know what Chengdu's goal is. They don't make roster moves. If you're a team that's not making roster moves, do you really care about winning? Honestly, that's a legitimate question. Teams that play safe, like Houston played safe for a couple years. They can get off Muma. As soon as you see a team that doesn't make roster moves, make swings for big players, I think that management is just sending a clear sign. We don't care as much about winning, which is fine. But at least they're not pretending. Like that's the worst. If you say your team's about winning and you don't make a roster move, then why even try? Honestly, because you're gonna know every team who takes themselves seriously does evaluations, be like, who's our best player, who's our worst player, and where do we need to fill? Can we have a okay player here? If we have a good player here, you got to make these sorts of decisions. And Chengdu, I just don't know if they care enough to make those calls. So for now, they're going to be in the eternal rebuilding stage. Vancouver, same thing. Unfortunate. You hate to see Vancouver. What happened last season with the mass exodus of what was a championship team, and within 8 weeks, absolutely implode on themselves. Well, I mean, it's embarrassing, honestly. It's one of those things where Vancouver Titans were in national news about how they mismanage their players. And I don't know what's up with that ownership group. I don't know what they're doing, but Jesus, Vancouver, if you guys please, Vancouver management group. I'll say this as someone who works for the league. You never, and just as a sports fan in general, no one ever wants teams to be bad. it's fun to meme. LA Valiant's gonna be my favorite meme of the year. They're gonna be my dumpster fire. I have a white trash can. I'm gonna print out a picture of the LA Valiant logo and throw it in my trash can, just so we can officially label it. That's fun, but I don't want multiple teams to be bad. It makes games boring. I want players to have good careers. I don't want, God, Linkser's a great dude. Linkser's a great player. Linkser went from Houston. He's on Vancouver now. Man, the dude's a cool dude. A nice guy. And Jesus, I don't want him to have dog shit time on the Vancouver Titans. But for all intents and purposes, due to the implosion and subsequent roster moves, I mean, God, look at this roster from Vancouver. Shredlock. Shredlock, wasn't he on Toronto at one point? No, never mind. I forgot. No, he was on Vancouver last year. You have Linkser who came in. You got FRD from Atlanta. FRD's kind of good. What do you do with this team? Who knows? Another rebuild. It's unfortunate. And funniest thing is Vancouver literally imploded their own team. Complete reset button, and they still got one more wins than Boston. The Boston Uprising, who still, who had the same roster basically for majority, at least the first 10 weeks of the season, and they still got 2 wins total. It's fucking embarrassing. And it's getting late, and I'm getting salty. So that's how I feel. Okay. Holy shit, y'all! 2 hours in. I thought this would be a half-hour segment. Well, joke's on me. I actually talked about every team. I really did. I really thought I would be able to get through this quickly, but there's so much to talk about. There really is. And these are my power rankings. You can see the guys at the top. You can see my guys at the bottom. Those top, if you take anything away from these power rankings, circle Boston, or not Boston, circle Florida Mayhem and circle Dallas as my sleeper teams, and London to a certain extent. New York could be good. I think Toronto will be good at the beginning, and I think they'll get worse. And as we transition out of the power ranking talk here, I think these are my preseason rankings. So I'll probably do this once every stage as things start to unfold. As things start to unfold, that's what we're going to talk about. We'll see those little intangible things that happen. This is like these rankings, that's my favorite thing about sports. There's cycles. There's just a cycle of what did the preseason, before the season starts, it's all about your management. What coaches did you bring in? What players did you bring in? What players did you bring back? Did a team fill a hole where they had a weakness? Or did they lose a player? Are they investing in one player but becoming weak in another one? This ranking is basically my management, and my management and coaching ranking. What are the team's management roles done to improve their team? So that's the fun part about this stage of power rankings. Every stage, we're going to do a power ranking. We're going to find out how things have panned out. We're going to see things change. And every stage, we're going to see what teams can keep their composure and what teams start to fall apart. And, Rudy talked about this earlier on in the stream, but I will say that I think that 4 seasons in, I think maturity and, I don't want to say being an adult, but that is the best, analogy term for me. I think this Overwatch League season, I'm very curious about what teams have we have veterans now. Overwatch League has veterans. Basically all these teams, most of them have at least one player that has 2 years of experience. At least 2. And what teams can be consistent? That's the hardest thing. One thing you'll always notice is there's always teams that start off hot. It's a thing that they call in American football. They call it who's good in September, who's good in January. Because September is the first month of the league, and January is when the playoffs start for the NFL. That's how you know what teams are good. Some teams are really good at the beginning and then taper off because their coaching sucks, their leadership isn't able to keep them motivated. Some teams are terrible early on because they're experimenting, they're trying new things. Soul Dynasty could be that team. They might be trying out new things, letting the team get a feel for each other, with the knowledge that when time comes, they know how to lock in. And that's where good veterans come in. They know when to play, when to focus in, and when to really grab the opportunities. But we'll see how that goes as the season goes along. But yeah, these are the power rankings. This is where my mind's at. And you know what? I really can't wait. Overwatch League starts in T minus 24, 48, 72, probably about 80 hours. And holy shit, y'all, we're almost here. And the first day of games is gonna be absolutely crazy. Let's look at the schedule real fast. First games of the day on Friday, we got Houston versus Dallas. We got LA Gladiators versus Shock. For any viewers who are still here watching, I will be doing a watch along, It's not a sponsor co-stream, but I will do a watch party on stream live to talk about. I'll do it on Sunday because I have to work on Friday and Saturday. But on Sunday, unfortunately, these games are going to be great. I'll probably do Houston versus San Francisco, Baga co-stream on Sunday at noon p.m. You'll hear my commentary. We'll have some fun. Forrest, if you're free on Sunday, I'd love to have you in the room and we can just shoot the shit and have a good time watching some games. And you know, Spencer, if you're still in the chat and you want to chill and watch Houston versus San Francisco in a watch party, we'll be live and we'll be talking about it on stream. It'll be great. We did clip. God damn it! All right, you clipped it now. It's written in stone. All this, all my young hair, all this hair still on my head will be gone if Valiant win a championship. You heard it here first. Super Deer Sideshow. Nice. Man, we had a max viewership of 14 people watching. That's actually really awesome. That's very cool. I didn't even write my script. I was going to have a better script. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Forrest, Spencer, thanks for sticking around, watching the stream. You know, I know you guys are doing your thing, but I really appreciate the viewership. I had a script that I didn't have time to write. Balancing life and work is hard. And man, and this week's already been crazy. But, through everything going on, I will say that this is my 4th season. Yeah, this is literally unscripted. All of this is just off the cuff. I'm just going, just making shit up as I go. Raw. But I will say, anyone else who's still watching, I'm 4 seasons in. I started Overwatch League. I started working with the Overwatch League in December of 2017, before we even did preseason. And you know what? Fuck, that was 2017. It's been 4.5 years now, and I mean this when I say when I watch the Overwatch League, I'm still not tired of it. I think it's great. I've no hesitancy in saying that at all. I think Overwatch League is great. I think we're the teams have been great. The community is really awesome. Bonk unscripted, dude. I'll just rant for hours on that shit. Yeah, Overwatch League's been great. The season's going to be the best. I think the best to come. Honestly, I think a lot of people will say that Overwatch League players, Overwatch players in general, have become better, and I think that's true about the pro scene. I think we've noticed that some teams have been taking bets on younger talent because, being realistic, I think younger talent's just better. People said that people who are what it takes to be masters now is what wait, I think I'm saying this wrong. If you it used to be easier a diamond 3 years ago is plat now because the entire player base has gotten better. So what it took to be a diamond player in season 4 of competitive is what to be diamond back then you'd be a plat now based on how people are good, based on how good people have become. And I think that's true of the pro scene. I have a lot of feelings. I'll do this in a different segment, but I'll say that the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that you ever had the argument between Michael Jordan, who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron? I'll say this on stream. It's LeBron James. People just become better at things over time. And Michael Jordan was the greatest legend of his time, but LeBron, just as a basketball player, is a better basketball player. And and dude, that's coming from me as a dude who grew up with a Michael Jordan poster. LeBron is just a newer player. He came into a different time of the league, and he's had continual success. And I feel that way about Overwatch. I think younger players not only have the promise of being better, but I think they, with the amount of experience, I think they are better. And I'm really excited to see what the new talent in the league is going to do. Woo, that was a long 2 hours. That was a long 2 hours. I should have done a commercial break. That shit was crazy. That's gonna be a fun YouTube VOD clip. All right. Do I play some games? Do I take a risk? Do I take a risk with my? You know what? Fuck it. Now we're back. I've been talking. Play a little bit of Overwatch. Man, that was pretty awesome. And now back to your regular programming. It really is. It really is. Whew. That was fun though. I do love doing some power rankings, you know. On Thursday, so just as a preview, on Thursday I do want to do a Thursday stream where we talk about I want to do a Thursday stream, and I'm trying to think of some segments that I'm gonna do. One of my big things that I want to do going forward is one sec. Gotta get to one sec. Gotta get to. Gotta get to Masters by Friday. Sorry. Yeah, one of the segments that I do want to do for Thursday is I want to do a few things. One thing I do want to do, at least early on for Thursday, is I want to do a prediction segment where I don't know if we'll have the pick'em thing for Owl yet, but I'll do Owl pick'em, and I want to do Colin Cowherd does a segment where it's called where Colin was right and where Colin was wrong. I want to do that for me. I want to make my bold predictions on Thursday about what I think will happen in the upcoming Overwatch League weekend. And on Monday, because so for now I have Mondays off. On Mondays I will come back. And compare where I was right and where I was wrong on the weekend. And I'm gonna love that segment. And then I'll try to pair it up. So it's gonna be great. Oh, my viewers, 6 viewers are back. Thank you. Yo, if that's like Jarek and Zeb and you know, I'm trying to think like Andy and Alice Rising and all you guys from the boys. If that's you watching, I really appreciate you guys coming in and out. Yeah, fuck. I had a max of 14 viewers at one point. That was fucking amazing. You know. Sticking it through, watching for a couple hours. I'm about to play some games now. So you know, can I get back to Masters? Time will tell. It's gonna be very tough. Let me switch. Okay. I'm kind of tired, and I had a long day today, so I might. Also, is my computer about to melt? Cool. I think my computer might melt with the amount of Chrome tabs I have open. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah. Gutter, if you're watching, sorry. Can't queue with you guys. I gotta solo queue to Masters by Friday. I have 2 days, and jeez, I'm 125 SR away, so I got some fucking grinding to do. I really do. Oh, sorry. Yeah. True self. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do one quick play game, and then we're gonna get into it. Enough of this training shit. One quick play game. All right, I'll say this on stream. We're gonna do one quick play game. We're gonna do two. Yeah. How about this? I'm gonna play one comp game because it's getting kind of late. I'll play one comp game after this quick play game. If if we win that one, I'll play one more, and then if anything, I'll just start from where I started today. And if anything, we'll break into the 3400. Please. Grab some Lucy. Seems kind of loud, yeah. Yeah, enough with the stressful power rankings. Now I get to play some chill Overwatch. Oh man, but my 6 viewers. How are you guys doing? How was y'all's day? Talk to me. Talk to me or follow the channel, one or the other. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I hope everyone had a pretty chill Tuesday. Yeah. Hope you got your vaccine. You got your vaccine. Please get it. If you got the J&J, hope you're doing okay. Or if anyone's got their second shot. I know some people who got their second shot. Oh shit. Tony Hawk. Alright, one quick play game. We're going back in. One quick play game, we're going back in. And of course, Sonamura.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Came for the power ranking stage for the boost, yo. Aw, Peter. Peter, I don't know if you're watching. Oh shit. Peter, I don't know if you're watching, but I am not a plat player. I am I'm a diamond player. I saw in your message in Discord you said plat, or in Reddit you said plat streamer. The plat streamer says his power rankings. I'm not a plat streamer. Check these ranks. I'm a mid-table diamond streamer. I'm a wannabe masterpiece.
I'll be busy soon.
Don't worry, I got my Washington Justice skin on. In terms of power rankings, I've got a feeling that I could be wrong about Boston. It seems like some people are pretty decently on top of Boston right now. Something I also need to do. Something I also need to do is I didn't do it on stream, but I will organize my teams by I will organize my rankings by teams that are my teams that I think are great for thank you. Yeah, I need to do the rankings of like my tiers within the regions too, because that's something that I didn't necessarily touch on, but I do think is important. It's like, how good is your competition? It's like a close round of... Oh shit. I do think that, you know, APAC region is just going to be harder in general. Get the fuck out of here. Ooh, nice. Jeez. Oh shit. How's it going, buddy?
Let me show you how it's done. Thank you.
Can't hit this fucking dude. Oh shit. Come on, keep your shit up. Come on. He said, "May you ruin every game you're in." Yeah, I'm not touching that shit. Oh my god, they did it. fucking destroy us.
Let them out.
Oh shit. Oh, we're holding it down. Gotta grab over here. Nice. Aha! Can't touch me now. Woo! Dude, this shit is nuts. Oh, my rank game is as fun as this. Baptiste is a broken character in like the funnest way possible. I'm very excited. So I didn't even talk. Maybe I'll do that on Thursday. Maybe on Thursday I'll talk about the team cops that we're gonna see. This guy named Egoist. I think that's how you say it. Egoist on YouTube. He did a really great breakdown of the comp of like the general comps. And the rhythms of the matches we're gonna watch in the current professional meta. Oh shit, they're about to TP. It's really interesting. Good, bro. What are you doing? Big mess. We take those. Also, Zeb, I don't know if you're watching, but Zeb, if you watch, Zeb, if you are watching, thank you for the follow. I saw that and I forgot to comment on that. So Zeb, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. I don't know if my Captain Falcon gifts were activated. That's like super weird.
Play of the game.
Okay. Hands are generally speaking warmed up, so we're getting into support games. It's gonna be a short game stream. Hey, new Zenyatta skin's up, but you still have to play the archive mission. Of course. That's okay. Alright, so for everybody who's witnessing on stream, aside from shaving my head, I'm also gonna talk about my my current SR here. 3372. I'm at support. I told myself that I would make Masters by Overwatch League debut, which means I have about 80 hours to get 128 SR. I had to stop and pause to do my mental math there. Okay. I've noticed in some of my VODs, my game volume has. So. Okay. Alrighty then. Wait. I hit the right thing. No? Yeah. Oh man. Crazy. Yeah, one of the fun things that I've been experiencing in these games, because you know, like the closer I get to Masters, the more it's common that I get Masters, majority Masters teams, I guess, and I'm like the lone diamond. One thing I found interesting is that everyone, like, I'm starting to actually have to play the meta, because some people are actually pretty good. Like, some dudes are like, you know, I won't play Ryan if we don't have Lucio, and you know, BAP and all that stuff. So I've been kind of forcing myself to learn. I've had to teach myself like how to fit in the meta. Like I used to. I'll say this: it's like the higher you go, I'd say about like high diamond is about where people start to be, you know, mechanics aside, they start to be generally proficient on their heroes. Like some dudes are really good at the heroes they play. And that's where the real, like, yeah, like, probably around like high diamond, I would say a player, someone has a pretty good understanding of at least a few heroes. And now, a lot of his skills is like, how does he interact with his teammates? How does he interact with the other, with the enemy team? And what's his understanding of the meta, that's going on at the moment? You know, they say like the meta doesn't really affect people up until, you know, low GM, if that, but I'm starting to notice a little bit. I've been learning a lot. It's been fun. It's been hard, you know, especially Lucio. I've been trying to play Lucio. with like tanks who know what they're doing. If I'm not speeding correctly, like last night I had a really good game where I was like speeding my Reinhardt away from like a the enemy nano Reinhardt a lot, and the nano Reinhardt couldn't do much, and they would bubble the nano Reinhardt, and then I just speed them out, and then they just waste like an ult and then a bubble on a Rein out of range. It's been tricky though. It's been hard because you know, at least for me, it's like I've always been generally good enough at mechanics to, you know, not really think, just kind of shoot my way out of my scenarios. But I definitely can feel myself starting to face off against people that, you know, if you give them an open shot, they don't miss. You know, it's not the YMCA where you can just let someone try to take a 3 and you don't know if they're going to hit it or not. At this point, these people are the players I play against. The windows of missed shots is closing quickly. Yeah.
Triple kill.
I feel neither joy nor
Play the game on the speed boost. Seriously, dude. Yeah, I won't pull it up, but actually, do I have it there? There's one thing that I had. I had one for any of you Nepal. For any of you Lucio players or support players that are curious. This is one of the big things that I enjoy watching when I watch Overwatch League, is seeing how a Lucio player carries his team. Here, I am feeding my balls. I'm like going for the mercies in the back. It's kind of loud. I'm going for mercies in the back. I'm kind of like all over the place here. But where is it? Power of Lucio. It's not here. Here? Yeah, it's right here. This is the team fight. So what you're going to see is enemy teams coming through here. Yeah, if you're ever playing Lucio and you want to know what the power of Lucio is, or the point of Lucio is we're going to res that, is my whole team can play here. They res, and they nano this guy, and watch what happens. We get antied, I speed him away. Look at this, Ryan. And then I boop him. That one, it doesn't look like a lot. That's why, you know, keeping an eye. I'll play half speed. That's why keeping an eye on what's the little things supports are doing to keep their team up. It really makes a difference in the overall team fight. It's an obvious play, but it's something that's important. So if you look at this team, they use self bubble, they use nano, they use flashbang, the anti-nade. They have every resource. But just watch. We use field, and then I speed, and I boop, and look at this guy. Our Rhine stayed alive through all that. It's because of a simple speed boost. I don't even know if I amped. I think I ferry it back. He counterpins correctly. We shred him. Our Halder Dragons. Within 3 seconds, we've isolated this guy. I die, I think. No, I don't die. I don't die. He blows his shatter. I beat it. They lose their Ana. They don't have res because they res the Tracer about 10 seconds ago. And we win this fight. I think I die because I get pulse pumped. But yeah, it's like, God, you know, it's those little things. Those little things where it's like, you don't have to be the guy making, you know, 5-man boops off the side. Just do this. Just literally, we're playing here. Yeah, okay, yeah, I amp. We back him out. And then when he gets in range, boop. They waste team bubble. The Zarya doesn't get enough charge because we don't counter swing on it. And that you know, it's those little interactions, those little tiny interactions that you know, make or break team fights. And you don't feel it in the moment. But that's what I mean when, like, you know, the Overwatch League players, they understand every aspect of the game. Where it's like, one of my coworkers who works on Call of Duty League, actually, we had a conversation about how Overwatch is just such a complicated game, which is why a lot of people have difficulty watching it. You know, and that's wait, did I DQ? I didn't. But that's been one of my big things that I want to do a video about this. I want to do a video talking about what like how to watch Overwatch in high level Overwatch in general. I think that's a, you know, in terms of like a spectator sport, right? It's like, you know, oh, perfect. But yeah, anyway, in terms of a spectator sport, like most people who when they watch professional sports, they don't care, they don't know or care how the sport works. They really don't. Like honestly, like, my mom's a 5 foot tall Asian Filipino woman. You think she cares about what she loves the NFL? She loves watching football. You think she really cares about if the wide flanker does a dig route at the 5-yard line versus the 7-yard line, or if if spider Y2 banana, if your option is to throw the fullback or the tight end on the cross? All those terms I just said are actually real things, by the way. I did not make those up. Those are real football options and terms. No, my mom doesn't care. She doesn't care, but she cares about the narrative and the story, and she can watch football and at least understand that the ball needs to go from here to there, and that dude's gonna carry the ball. That dude's job is to carry the ball into the end zone. I think even people who play Overwatch, it can be hard to understand sometimes. To watch.
We're gonna do great.
Not bad. Let's just come. So that's my goal. Is this? My goal is this season. I really want to see if I can make some content, or just help people understand what to watch, how to anticipate plays in Overwatch League, and really just have a better time. Oh shit! Whoops. I was open mic. Whoopsie. Wow, that was embarrassing.
This is gonna make you feel better. Push on.
Back up top. Maybe we need to go on after this.
Oh, time to accelerate. Group up with me.
Good feed. You want to go around the left?
Audio medic.
Oh, let's get the Zarya. Zarya's half my cart. Here, I'll go up to you guys. I don't know where. I really don't. Up one. Thank you. That.
They're inside the little building. They might be coming up. Yeah, they're coming up top.
Yep. I'll probably set the Mercy to pocket you guys. Or actually, I'm.
Oh shit. Okay.
Thanks, Kobe. This game kind of sucks. They don't have Blossom. Ready? 3, 2, 1, speed. We're wasting all the else. We're good. Good, we used to. Our hog is throwing. You hate to see it.
That actually hit me.
Back in the mix.
They found our hog. Sorry, no personal. Pushing our hog. Or pushing our Ren. I got 2 of them off the high ground.
Run low, run low.
Kill the field. Care, Ren. Can we kill Baptiste? Here, I got cart. You guys stay up. You guys stay up.
They have 3 high ground. There's 3 of them. They're pocketing each other.
You guys stay calm. I don't know what's going on in this game. This really sucks.
Alright, we just need a group. I gotta hit an ult here.
Yeah, the Zarya's up, man.
We need picks.
They're gonna have
Reaper
Reaper ult soon. We need to actually pay attention. Sorry, no bubbles. You have field? Oh. game's like the most boring game I've ever played.
10 seconds remaining.
How you so fucking fast?
This was a really weird game. This was terrible. Well,
Bro, you guys are just going in and dying, going in and dying, going in and dying. going in
Yeah,
and dying.
we're not grouping.
Score 0-0. Switching sides.
I don't think contesting them over
Select
on
your
top
hero.
was worth it. I think we should have just stayed on the payload.
Well, since I lost this game, I'm dipping. I'll see you later.
yeah. Okay. What was that dude doing? He was just chilling on the side.
I don't know. I don't know. Playing a hog into that team was just not the
Yeah.
pick.
Let's get you back out there.
Odd.
Everyone signed their life insurance policies?
Well, yeah, I'll dip in a minute 40.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Man, a shitty way to play a game. I should have won Zen or something.
Ah, you're here. It's good to have backup.
Always glad to lend you
I'm paying Mercy so I don't get blow my That was really weird. That was really weird. I don't know what happened. I was kind of half paying attention too, so that's kind of my bad, but
3, 2, 1. Attackers
But even then.
incoming.
maybe that bad, right?
Stop the payload.
Fish against Reaper. I should have went Brig.
I'm being attacked. High shell activated.
Just gave it to him. I've never avoided someone faster. I should have just went Mercy, honestly.
Payload is
Valkyrie
approaching
online.
its destination.
Well, we're not going out on that game. Fuck that. That was actually one of the... I wish I didn't have, like, you know... Can I have my time back? Does anybody have a time turner? Just where I don't... Oh, wait, no. Give me a first two. Oh, you don't. Okay. Well, we're down one. Back to 33-48. God, I really hope we don't lose this next game. That's gonna really fucking blow. Hermione, turn your hourglass, please. Please do it, dude. Fuck, man. I kind of was half paying attention, but I didn't think, you know, I wasn't not doing anything. I was booping people. I got them off the high ground so many times. I just wish, you know. I mean, we got that one, the team fight one. I guess I should have helped push the card. Honestly, I was thinking too much about Overwatch League, to be honest. Hold up. Let's see. Let's just see how bad what this dude's doing. He was level 27.
Point ready.
And I love that he didn't say a word, and then all of a sudden, then he's like, "Oh, what are you doing? We don't group." I'm like, "We talk about you don't group." Okay. I don't mind this. This is where it was frustrating. Our main tank did kind of blow that. Oh no, and Zarya gets him, cucks him. That was the most boring way to die.
60 seconds remaining.
Step right.
How did he never hook it? Please be a fun map. Yes!
Traveling to Eichenwald.
I can fall.
Prepare to attack.
Alright. Alright, this time I actually have to try hard. I'm sorry if I don't pay attention. Hey, understand. It's like, we never regrouped. I'm like, we? I think there's a, you know, that's a particular article that I would not use in that scenario. More like a you problem. What's up, yo?
Isama is butter in chat.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
Okay.
Attack commences.
Honestly, at this point,
Are
I'm
you
kind
a
of.
person? You have a voice.
Reinhard, I must
Right.
say you
I do
live
appreciate.
well. This life must agree with you.
I guess he must be a bot then.
Don't worry, I play with an actual bot. Well, not an actual bot, but Buttercream's here, I believe.
An automated human being. Of pure skill.
That sounds good, Forrest. Yeah. If I lose
Alrighty.
this game, I'm
Good
definitely
seeing
gonna play
how far
quick
it-
play. I'm not gonna.
Mind.
Even if I win this game, I'm probably gonna chill.
Go. I'll keep you
So,
Oh, I'm gonna get so much charge. Ryan.
reloading. Yeah, just avoid the spam. Let's not hit. Guys, can we stop taking the spam here?
Let's stop dying.
Save your shield. I got you.
get back in the fight.
Yo, man's already has it.
We're good. He's wasting. He's wasting. Reloading. Yeah, let's just wait. Let me get Nano, and then we just run in. And then I'll swap to Lucio. Oh, wow. He hit me in the door.
Yo, help me, bro.
Are we gonna have 2 shitty games, guys? I'm gonna be so mad.
I hadn't been able to push me.
Okay.
The gloria
Action
will
hard throwing.
torch. I have it in memory.
Alright, are we ready?
No,
Let's
I'm
go.
not ready.
Slowly. Push up. Keep going. McCree up top. P1.
Yeah, I could deal with this fucking
Just make a play.
I will keep you here.
Junk's Hold on. Wait, give. Hold on, I can't see. Kill Ryan.
Hold on a few seconds.
Yep. You have no sports, just heads up. It's winnable. God damn, you just walk in and just do
Show
something.
you hand.
Shit works out.
Touch it, point to.
There we got it.
I'm going up top.
Indeed. Oh my god. I'm ready for Nano Blade. Yay. Bab, you stay. I'm gonna go and see if I can find him. Okay,
Got
just
it.
hold up, Ginge. I'm ready, whatever, bro. We good?
Nice,
While the gate opens.
Yeah. I got
Ron, you went the wrong way.
He does it to me.
Here,
he's
in ammo.
pissed. Tor back up. I can't see.
So we're still pushing card. Ryan's up point. Shadow here, big shot.
Genji, I'm ready, man.
Killing ammo.
No way back for that.
You said they used to. Oh!
Dead window.
He had a weird angle, too. Get Nano Blade here for free.
They don't have ammo for like 10 seconds if you want an Enderblade now.
I can peek you up top. Ready? I'm ready whenever. Ready, Genji?
You're powered up. Get in there.
Kill Zarya?
Mercy?
Okay.
Mercy hot?
In your back.
Reloading. Man, my hands are slow right now, dude. My hand.
Supports on cart.
Yeah. Junk up mid. Junk hit once.
You're covered.
What? There's no way that shot me. There's no way.
Heal up.
Anti run.
Ryan, hold door.
I'm gonna save my ammo for that. I'm placing it on cart. Or, just kidding. I'm saving it for Grav.
Be up top.
Oh, monkey, you're high in the sky.
I got him.
I'm helping Genji.
Here, reloading. Don't stop peeking.
You can heal me here, bro. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Help. Okay, Ram's got another blade soon.
Alright, reset.
Yeah, we're good. ultimate try.
Don't play ball, don't play ball.
I'm not ready to hang it up.
She's gonna have grav. Oh. Alright.
Shoot, that's fine, reset.
Create middle.
I'm really scared for my safety.
Just
I hit him once.
No, he's one.
I can't.
Oh, that's my bad. My aim is really bad. Probably could survive.
Good kill. So chill.
Get on both supports.
Let's push the card. Oh no, we can't be down like that.
Kill, big kill.
لسه في ناس لازم احميها.
Your support's coming back. Try
Alright.
not to die.
I'm back.
Hey, rest.
McCree above. Careful for that eye.
Good job, almost back.
Oh,
Bro, stop dying, bro.
Here, I have ammo on and on.
Big,
Oh, what?
big back up. Big back. They don't know.
Kill, yeah. They don't know.
They don't know.
They
Massive.
Nice, dude. That's what they get.
في الامتحان يكرم المرء أو ينسى.
The fuck?
Fully healed.
Tatiana.
Watching your back.
Nice.
I got nano blade here, baby. Yeah, they're down there on us, so.
Sorry.
Sorry, in the personal. Ready whenever, Genji.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Use the crowd and that eye.
I'm gonna sick.
There is. I'm gonna swap off in a sec.
No, Anna's okay. Anna's good.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, Anna. I don't know what to do for you there.
nah, there's not much I can do.
This is much better.
I really should get
Okay, I'm
off
gonna
on
place window for you.
Let them up.
Do fire strike to it.
I have your back.
Okay, Junkrat.
Yeah, let's stop staying in the choke here, you know?
There's no way jump rates.
I'm gonna go Lucio so we can get past this shit. I'm getting tired of his spam. Just get ready to go.
Bring it together.
60 seconds remaining.
You don't think you can back out here, do you? Ready? 3, 2, 1. McCree on the right. McCree's stuck in the back right. Yo, can we get like a normal DPS hero just for this last fight? Actually, let me damage boost junk if we're gonna do this. Okay, that works.
We need speed
Oh,
anyway.
this shit, we need this show.
Alright, we're gonna lose.
I believe we can touch.
Okay.
We'll have time,
We're dying walking out of spawn.
Yeah. I'll touch. Or not, be turn. Can't do much about that, fellas. It's alright.
Complete.
This game would be so easy. This game would be easy if we just like used our fucking brains.
2-0. Switching sides.
Like this isn't even a thing. This is just walking out of spawn and just running into junk rod stuff. Yo, let's just not run into junk stuff, yeah? And we're good. That's you know, I don't know. There's one way to win, guys. You just don't do that. Their junk is in our face. That is true. So we got the ultimate spam done.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah, just win, guys. Just that's all we gotta do.
Yeah, just punish them. Just win, yeah.
Win, yeah. So we got Zen, so we'll shred him quick.
That's like, I hate people do that. It's like, oh yeah, we need DPS. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just agree. I know you're not trying to DPS right now, but now be DPS. You know? It's like so dumb.
I don't know what the fuck this guy just said, but let's get it, baby. Full hold. Easy. Still get junked.
Attackers in
He wasn't trying to win before you asked him.
objective A.
Burn the Ryan shield. Keep shooting. Ryan escorted.
Hey, don't let him push this.
Ooh.
Got good kill. They might res. Hey, Ryan, back up. Play on point.
No
Play on point.
mercy.
3-1.
They're all the way in our spawn.
We're holding actually. Ryan one. Ryan one. Ryan one. Winnable. Very winnable. Not even a tick, baby. Don't turn your back.
Here's my magical
Is the path
distraction.
mastery.
Zarya ran followed us to like back mega room and castle.
Yeah, I was looking at that. This Zarya was on the mega.
Giblet's a B tier Pokemon at tops. Same with Garchomp. I can name like 3 other generations where the dragon types are cooler.
What is that melody?
Where is he? Man, I'm always surprised. I was never a huge I liked Pokemon, but
We can push on Zarya here.
I thought I did, and then I knew I liked, you know, for the lack of a better term. Watch out for Tire here. They're gonna tire. They're gonna grab. They're gonna do it all.
Well, I'll save ammo for one of them. Don't know which.
I'll save email for Tire. I'll hit grab.
Alright.
I don't lift.
When they tire, just try
He's
to
going
come
up
to
top.
me.
Okay, he's going to top. Sick.
Alright,
I got it. I got it. I got it.
Oh,
Oh,
you're into
I
it.
can't hold that.
Come on, man. We could win that. There's no way. There's like 3 of them on me.
Not bad. That was a good hold.
Not good enough.
Just get high ground.
Can do better.
Nice
Hey, it's a
kill.
team kill. We can actually hold this. We can hold here by gate.
Yeah, we hold close. Yeah. McCree's up top.
Hey, McCree behind.
Are they all top?
Time to fuck this bitch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like that, do you? Oh, what the fuck? There's a right here. Alright,
I'm with you. I'm with you, McCree. He might shatter us. Teabag him. Teabag him.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
Jesus Christ, how did the junk do so much damage to me?
Someone's bottom left. Junked bottom left in the castle.
Careful for McCree flank. Call it out if you see it.
Bro, this. Okay, guys, where are you guys?
We're up top. Ooh. Jesus, guys, we're just asking for it. I'm gonna die in cart. Bet they're on at least. Our team is actively trying to lose this game. That's what's pissing me off the most. Nice kills, nice kills.
Is a flimsy shield.
They only have Zen for heals. Try not to take spam, please. Nice. Oh, watch out for Shatter. He's looking for it. Ryan escorted.
How did that hit me? How the fuck did that hit me?
I don't have chance yet. Ryan escorted still. Ryan low, keep swinging out. You guys gotta make a play. Junk's coming behind.
Alright, I don't have ammo for it.
Our Torb needs to do something.
Begins anew. Embrace tranquility.
Oh, help. Okay. Ryan shield up. Almost have chance. Try not to die, please. I got chance. Touch. Watch out for Zarya. Rip.
Ball.
Alright, done with the games. It's pissed me off today. Our Torb can't do anything. Alright, Forest. Oh god, they're playing competitive. I'm done playing competitive. Oh man. That sucks. I had such a great Power Rankings episode too. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Just two, yeah. I'm gonna play one more game. Whatever. Oh, the Master's Dream is looking farther and farther away. I'm not gonna lie. Play one tank game. Oh wait, no, I'll play a flex game. Oh man, sorry Spence. I know you tuned in the stream, but it's not going well. Really not. Those games are the toughest because I'm literally watching these games and I'm just like, you know, there are shots I could have made, things like that. But then when I'm just sitting here, watching my teammates die to a Junkrat by walking directly into his nades.
Traveling to Hanamura.
Oh no, I got
Prepare
support
to
again.
attack.
I didn't think I'd get that on
Select
flex.
your hero.
But when you just watch your team just actively try to die, it really gets your the mood killed, you know. I want to play tank just so I can feel like my team's actually gonna do something, or at least I have the. Yeah. I just want to have some sort of proactiveness. That's all I want. I don't need much. I don't even care if you don't want to talk. I'm really cool with no comms. Makes my life chill. But
Attack commences
you know,
in 30 seconds.
just a junk of all on Eichenwald. Of all things, on Eichenwald, one of the most open like high ground maps possible. You hate to see it.
Come on, let's bring it together.
What's up, y'all?
Check this out.
You know what?
What's up, gamer?
What's up?
Hello.
Oh man, I hope I win this game. All right, ultimate try hard mode. Ultimate try hard mode.
One.
Let's get it.
Attack commences.
Watch top. Zarya no personal. I'm gonna go on this. 3, 2, 1. Good kills. They have res. Careful. I'll be back soon.
Double time. Oh, turn it up.
Yo, Lucio, okay.
I'm coming back. Yana, get a health back if you can. Zarya no personal. Speedy.
Sorry, hello. Bottom dead. Sorry, hello.
Trying to heal. Can we move to point?
Cover half.
The rest. Tell me, cat. Tell me, cat. She might have Bob.
Let's get you healed up.
Capping.
Oh, no way I die. Yeah, you got that.
Oh! We got it.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Objective A captured.
Power of the boot.
Commence attack.
That was the weirdest, stupidest fight ever, and I love it.
That was wild.
Oh my god. We
I'll
go top.
have Nano again.
Junk up top. He's gonna have tire here. I'm chilling. I got you. Running back up.
I'm Nano.
Give it to him now.
I got you.
Kind of winnable. Very
Yeah,
winnable.
totally winnable, yo. I'm on point.
Yo, stay alive, Hanzo. Yeah. Well, is Zarya behind you guys? Careful. She's coming from the bottom.
Accelerate.
Do I need healing?
You only have Ana. Oh, we're good, we're chilling.
On our right, behind.
Ryan's asleep. On your hand side, traces on me. You got it back.
No, just regroup, we're just wasting time. We're burning like a minute that we could have done something.
Let's up the tempo.
Okay, maybe swap.
You have Doom now, Doom and Tracer.
That Zarya's been popping, she might have another grab soon. I'm waiting for bubbles to go out. Okay, ready? Let's go.
Nice, dude. Nice. Easy. Right
Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. I got you on. Yeah, cap.
Sorry, really just right click and killed like all
Mercy.
I didn't kill him all that. I didn't fucking kill him.
Good. Oops.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Nice. Oh, my bad. I didn't have a performance mode on.
To 0. Switching sides.
All right, frame should be good.
Prepare your defenses.
My fault. I sometimes I forget to. It's dumb. I'm using my graphics card. I use my graphics card as a
Do you want Bap
to
instead?
encode. What's up?
Bap or Ana?
I don't know. Ooh, what do they run?
Well, if they run Doom again, then
All right. Maybe I could brig.
before they ran Junk and I forgot what the other defense was.
I'm gonna brig. This is yeah, I'll brig.
I could have used a little more time to get ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. If I don't go into performance mode, my frames start dropping like fucking crazy. But yeah, my frame should be good now. That sucks, Command, because I want to watch that back, because that wasn't a half bad game. I got lucky with that beat, but she just grabbed in the middle. Their Zarya's pretty good. Yeah, their Zarya's pretty good, so just watch it.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
They have Ashe. On no sleep. Ashe left. Ashe up top.
Yo.
Chill. Chill, chill. Yo, Ryan, chill, man.
Dude.
Yeah, the Ashe is up top, guys. We don't have top. Don't peek mid. Don't peek mid. Ashe is up high. Yeah, just don't peek the Ashe up. Ryan, hold on. Ryan, come to your left. Come to your left. We're fine. This fucking Ashe, dude, it's killing me. Hey, Ryan. Ryan, come with me. Never mind. This Ashe, dude, we're just peeking her hard. That's it. She might have grabbed to walk in. I'm gonna get rally and then swap off. They're gonna have grab soon.
New defense point.
Just don't peek this Ashe, please.
Feel better soon.
Bedtime.
Ana's asleep.
Ashe bottom left.
Ashe
Bottom
is
right.
on.
Can you get some heals? We're good, we're good. Ashe bottom. God, I just hate that. I have rally. Nice kill. You want to chase him? Oh, never mind. They're back already. I'm gonna try to bait him.
Good as new.
Well, that was awkward. Switching fast.
Solo shattered me.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, let's bring it together.
Could have seen that one coming. That's tough. Yeah, maybe Brick or Bat for this one.
Score
Yeah.
2-2. Switching sides. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Oh fuck. Not a good day of games, everyone. That's okay. This is still very winnable.
Come on, let's bring it together. I am loving this.
Be sure to stretch before engaging in the rigorous physical activity.
Do I look like an angel of mercy to you? Behind you!
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Hey man, happy to have you.
I've had bad luck with teams, but this one seems alright.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Behind you! Ah!
Yeah, we should have seen that one coming.
Damage boost engaged.
It looks like that apple.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna win.
In that direction.
5,
We're gonna win at least one game tonight.
3, 2,
Let's get it.
1. Attack.
With double sniper? Seriously?
Capture objective
All right.
A.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
I don't know if I'd consider Asher Sniper. Go Farrah on top, she's one.
Ready? 3, 2.
Please, please. Farrah one.
I might go Mercy just to damage boost you guys, because... can we take top like that Ash did? Like that top middle? No wall, wait. 3, 2, 1.
Speed in 5 seconds.
Ryan, either go through or don't stay in the door. Oh shit. Chill.
Mercy down.
Bear my barrage, careful.
Mercy down. Back up.
That's fine. Wait it up. Mercy's still down.
Oh, no way.
Well, Anna's in the back chilling. You got it, Ash, I believe.
No, they don't have Mercy.
Come back. I'm here. Let's get through the door.
Oh my god, my immortality is being gone.
Now to accelerate.
I'll touch.
10 seconds. Fire at will.
How much I can do.
Overtime.
I should have went Mercy just so we can have damage boost.
No, you're fucking retarded. Jesus fuck.
Alright.
Whoa.
I don't know, man. You
No,
get
you tweet
Maywall.
5 seconds, you fucking tweet immediately like a dumbass.
Round 3 complete.
I honestly didn't hear what you
I
said.
could have had bubble up. I could have had my bubble up. Like,
Score.
you're just fucking dumb.
2-2.
Okay.
Switching sides.
Maybe I should have went Mercy.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Yeah, dude, just hold up, like, dude. Don't play the game. Jesus fuck.
You're fun.
Private profile got it.
Why are you so mad, bro?
Because he's fucking terrible.
Okay. That's a lot to be mad about, eh?
Where does it
Can I play Mercy? I have no skill.
Shut the fuck up.
That's a
guy's
lot of
popular.
armor. Though I guess you are a pretty big target.
Ah, you're here. It's good to have backup.
Imagine the worst possible outcome. Now,
Yeah,
It's
right.
Cinder.
These are the games I get on a Wednesday or on a Tuesday night, man. It's like, who the fuck are these people?
Should be at peak performance level.
I really might. I'm gonna play a tank game just so I don't have to.
Feelings to engage.
Why is this game so mad, dude? The guy's speed in 5. Guy doesn't say anything and then just says speed in 5. What does that even mean? Even so, I don't even care. Like if I don't know what's going on.
You've got this. Let's get to that outcome.
Hey.
GG's.
Hey, you fucking suck.
You're literally
Wait to touch up.
Oh man, 32.99. I dropped 70 SR tonight. Oh, sorry, Spence. What I get for power rankings? I'm just mad because our Reinhardt just can't get through, dude. I'm trying to speed you through. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh well, I should avoid him. I really hope I get a game with him. Oh, we got King's Root. Yes, he's on the other team. He's on the other team.
Select your hero.
What's up, guys? What? What's up?
What's up, dude?
Hello.
All right, so the dude you on the other team, I just played a game with him. Dude's the most toxic piece of shit. I'm ready to destroy him.
Hell yeah.
We're doing.
Alright, let's do it.
I will solo shatter that dude. If you want to shatter, I'm sorry, this dude's getting destroyed this game.
I'll solo blade him, please.
Yeah, we solo blade him, we dead eye him, like we sleep him, we dead eye him, we do it all to him.
If they have
so
anything
what
other than
did he
Ryan
do?
Zarya, I'm gonna go Diva.
You. Why you?
Yes.
Stay.
So like, what did he do? What happened?
Dude, he was playing Diva, feeding, and then he was like calling me a fucking retard, and then was like, I don't know, dude. He turned the whole team against us. It was great. Pretty like if we fuck him up once, he'll start like feeding and just like. I hope he's playing Diva. I was playing guard. I don't know, Nate.
They have good. We might be running good. They have run Zarya, Genji, Ana.
I'm in.
They have Doom instead of True. Other than that, they do. And they have Lucy.
Okay. Ryan low. No reflect. Sorry.
He must have
Ryan's sick.
reset. No, we don't have Ryan.
Oh, we have. I might. We'll be.
I'm happy to blade.
Yeet.
We can nano Ryan this way.
Did you have that?
Level 2 here. Okay.
Cross.
Blade. They might have Shredder.
I'll block.
They have them.
Kill Zarya. Alright, I wasted that. Nice.
We're gonna have Blade here, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they have blade for sure.
Let me play a little passive. Try to burn the Rhine shield.
No, I ain't no personal.
We gotta burn the Rhine shield to get the
Pretty
pressure
much the
out.
second we push in, the demon person is like in our back line. So.
Can't do much.
Okay. Wait, they have 3 ult speed. Freaking grab nano and thing.
Here, just let me die. Cool. Big kill, actually. They're gonna res and then we're good. Big kills. Zarya. Watch out for Zarya. Try not to die, and then I'll be back in a sec. You have a free grab too if you can solo
Jump
grab
up
someone.
top again.
Yeah, I can grab this.
Don't get it. Make sure you don't get the bucket.
Ready for grab, guys?
Yeah, right here, right here. Kill Ren. I'm fine. We're good. 3-1. Someone's up top right, I think. Nice.
On a one.
Okay. Genji up top. I'm asleep. I'm pushing in.
Yeah, I'm with
Mercy
you.
one.
I got bubble whenever you need it. Go in.
Yellow, I'm dead.
I'm chilling.
One.
We're dead. We're dead. Using a lot. All that just to go. Oh, you got him on.
This is a crazy Pharah map if anybody goes Pharah.
Oh, he did it to me. Save me. Let me go monkey. Yeah. I think on a bridge might work better.
Imagination is the
I
essence
shouldn't
of
have.
discovery.
We have Pharah now, so Zen can try to heal our Pharah a lot more.
He's on low. Zarya.
Where's she sitting in the mid?
Zarya off, I think.
Get in there, I got bubble.
We can come with me here.
Right low.
I must have full swap.
Good.
Got bubble.
Kill Doom.
Come on.
I'm fine. Just trade. Don't be afraid to trade. They're all in the bottom left. Careful.
Zarya half. Zarya dead.
He's gonna either walk into it or die, yeah.
Watch out for Doom.
Two on side.
Once more onto the breach.
Nice. Yeah, stay aggro, baby. Stay aggro.
Dropping in.
Damn, he's still trans too. Hell yeah. I'm helping push cart. You guys just stay it. Can't touch, right? Ryan, focus, Ryan. Oh, so close. I really, man.
I must have ult.
Barrage was close. That's crazy. What are they gonna have?
You wanna grab, but I will.
60 seconds.
We can grab force maybe.
Jump in, monkey.
Oh, not yet. You can bubble me now. I'm chilling. Wait.
Heroes never die.
Wait.
Zarya low. Run Zarya both.
Oh, huge.
Can't do much about that. Switching the ball.
10 seconds remaining.
Damn. I think we needed that pulse. That's tough.
Yeah. I played really bad that first half, my bad.
Oh, good. Get a full good first ult.
There we got it.
I think that Doom Genji comp kind of fucked us up.
Switching sides. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Y'all know what to leap with, maybe?
What?
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say if we can get like a. On his Zen's tough, we just have to keep our Zen alive.
Yeah.
Alright, this works. Yeah,
And
this
we can play Brawl. Yeah, we can play Brawl. Brawl works.
Justice will be done.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Oh, these people in my chat, these weird ass people. Wanna become famous? Buy followers and viewers.
They have. Oh, that's what I'm about to do.
5, 4,
I didn't see anyone. I didn't see anyone top window.
1.
It's all good. I like the honor.
They have Brawl.
Yep.
Same comp. Same comp.
Okay, mortality.
One.
Genji one.
I'm fine. Good traits. Make sure she doesn't res. Just keep your Zarya up. Nice.
Magnitude.
Back and ready for more.
I think I do the run roll up this. Almost back. Yeah, as long as you guys keep the high ground, not everyone crowd down here. Try to spread out just a little bit.
You're fully hit.
Go in a bubble. Please bubble. Find it.
Kill Zar. Kill Zar again. Watch out, dude. Nice. I have shatter.
Halfway to.
I have dragon.
No reflex.
They don't have a defense ult.
Can we do this? Can we do it early here?
Fine, huh?
Wait for the reflect to go out.
Line up bubble.
We're good.
Oh, wasting a fucking res. Let's go.
Nice. Nice job. I didn't expect the nano.
Yeah,
we didn't need nano
once-
for sure.
Yo, once I get ult, I'll just come up with a bubble. And
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, Hanzo, try not to get caught in the grab. Yeah, Hanzo, if you get in the avoid the grab, we're good. She's gonna grab right here. Chilling. Careful.
No, I need help.
Ryan one. Big. Huge. Stay alive. Got him in there? Huge.
They have Widow now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
careful.
they have.
I just play this corner.
Here, just chill,
Yeah,
just chill.
it's fine.
Here, it's still winnable.
You just play this corner.
Oh shit, need him. Sorry, I didn't think. Here, give up a tick. I'm gonna switch the ball. Yeah, just give up a tick. And then we got Reaper stall.
Yep. Come on.
Nano Reaper, if you can. Whatever, as soon as you get it. I'm coming in.
I tried him good.
Don't waste ults. We're just burning time.
Put a monkey.
That's it.
No, we can win this.
Can we? We have double sniper.
No.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't peek the widow if you can.
Well, fuck.
Stop the payload.
I'm gonna stay on this.
Justice will be done.
Stay alive as long as you can. We have to take an early fight.
Yeah, let me know if you see the Widow. I can take a building too.
Just careful the far left backstairs. I'm staying in this. Let me go first. Make sure you let me go first. No reflex. I'm walking in. Get a bubble.
You see Widow anywhere? Where's Widow?
Nope.
She's high.
Grab.
Down cart.
Oh,
Don't back
yeah,
up.
Sam.
Don't. There you go. Yeah, we have to reset fast.
No, Widow's one. Fuck.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go Tracy.
All right. I think we can win this with Nano Monkey, but you can't get picked first. They see where you are, obviously.
Alright.
Like, don't even.
Help on it, help on it. Oh, okay, we don't have
I'm gonna have to touch.
Widow's main.
You're gonna have to throw immortality like on point, basically.
Before you jump.
Yeah, I'm waiting. He's
Get
going.
on it.
Hold on, I know. Hold on. Genji half 15.
Mine one.
Oh, I got stagger. That's tough.
I played really bad, I'm sorry. That game's my fault.
You, dude.
You played
Oh,
really well, Monkey. It's my bad.
no, that's fine. Look at this dude.
Dude, he's so upset. Why?
I don't know.
Are they like a stack or something to beat you?
Nah, I don't know.
Like, why are they so upset?
Yeah, I know. That's a hard report. All right. I think that's a sign. I need to stop playing Overwatch for today. Okay. That's a sign. God damn it, Spencer! It's all your. No, it's not your fault. Ugh, that was rough. Though. I should have known. I should have known to stop playing after a little while. What can you do? What can you do? But yeah. All right, that's gonna be it for the stream tonight, man. But the power rankings was really fun though. I don't care how shitty my comp games were. My you know, nothing can take away the fun from the. Yeah, dude, that shadow is beautiful, right? You like that? You like that? That was a good shadow. You know, that's a beautiful editing. I can cut out all the bad shit that happened tonight and then just run that one Rhine shatter because that one was beautiful. Good stuff. But yeah, hey, dude, seriously, Spence and everyone else who was watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching through the. Thank you for watching through everything, and really appreciate it. And a good time. It was a great time. And I won't be doing a 2-hour power ranking stream often, but I do want to do like weekly checkups, big news. You know, I need to work, man. If I can find some spare time, I want to spice up my graphics package a little bit, have some like lower thirds and some fun topic bars set up. Man, it's a lot of work. So, but anyway, great time, really good time. Thanks for everybody for watching, and I will catch you guys tomorrow, because now instead of 5 games to grind, we have 8 games to win to get 2 masters. So tomorrow might be a long stream. We're gonna find out. All right, cool.